everybody, and welcome to a new episode of the MinnMax Show, place about games, friends, and getting better. Thank you for being here. My name is Ben Hansen. I'm joined by Leo, the chill man Vader.
Hey, do I grab your attention? You intro me first because I'm doing the funnest stuff with my hands?
Typically, it's just like a little goldfish rule. If something's moving, I'll just go towards that. Jeff Marchiafava's here.
Oh, I was trying to hold still, but you still got me. You still saw me.
Don't let him fool you. We're also joined by the very special Janet Garcia.
Hello.
Hello, welcome. We got a big show for you all here today. If you're watching this, if you're listening to this, I hope you enjoy this. Today we're talking about Battlefield 6. It's here, baby. Then, quick detour. I want to talk a little bit about Dreams of Another, which was shown off during a State of Play a little while ago. We're talking CloverPit. Imagine Balatro, but in a slot machine. Is it addicting? Pfft. Does the Pope shit in the woods, Leo? We're talking Lego Party.
This one does.
Yeah, okay, it's confusing. We're talking,
cool
I forget
now.
which
City
ones
guy, yeah.
did. You need to have like a spreadsheet for which ones do and which ones don't. I can't keep those posts straight. We're talking Lego Party. We're talking Lego Voyagers, a bunch of Lego bundles in there. We're talking Dying Light the Beast. This podcast was just about out the door, and then Leo said, don't forget about the Beast. Don't forget about the Beast. And then we're also talking to Jenna Garcia about a game that she just beat hot off the presses, of course, called Persona 5 Royal.
The first person ever beat it.
I think...
Yeah.
I know it came out kind of a while ago, but yeah.
Yeah. Have you tried calling Guinness about this, Janet?
They blocked my number a long time ago.
Really? Rude.
Yeah.
But then back after the show, of course, we have wonderful questions people submitted over there on Patreon. Thanks for your support over there. Greatly appreciate you keeping this whole thing around. You can support us on Patreon. We greatly appreciate that, of course. Or, I'll say and. We also have another opportunity for you, where Saturday, October 18th, we have a marathon charity stream happening from the MinnMax studio, the Give to the Max stream. We've been doing this, God, I've been producing them for like 12 years or something like that. Like we did Extra Life for years and years and years. Now we've shifted over to Give to the Max so we can support smaller nonprofits based out of here in Minnesota so that we can have a bigger impact with the money that we raise. But we're going to be streaming for 12 hours from the MinnMax studio. We're flying special guest Charles Hart into the studio to stream along with us, rotating through guests, rotating through games.
If you hear Charles Hart and you hope that he's going to be doing some DMing, you'll be in luck. Tune in for sure.
Tune in for sure. We got a lot going on, a lot to pack in here. And all of the money raised during this charity stream, which is going to be happening on MinnMax's YouTube channel, is going towards the Immigrant Law Center of Minnesota. Let people know their rights here. We can protect our neighbors. And so we'll have links below for all that fun stuff. We're going to have a post on Patreon as well this Friday. There'll be a public post that kind of breaks down the schedule, all the charity auction items, because we have a ton of auction items, and some things that I was teasing last week have come in. And so we have a ton of auction items, a wide variety of auction items with 100% of the money going to support the charity. Specifically, if you're a fan of Claire Obscure Expedition 33, you should tune in. We'll have a post on Patreon breaking down the schedule for when these auction items and these auctions are going to happen. But I opened an email this morning and got choked up looking at it because they have been fantastic. Shout out to Ben Starr over there for giving the alley-oop and Jack Kennedy over at Kepler for arranging for some amazing things. We have canvas prints of Verso and Mael, two separate ones, signed by the actors, so signed by Ben Starr and Jennifer English, which I'm very excited about. We have a ton more stuff from Expedition 33, including Claire Obscure Expedition 33 console, the Xbox Series X Expedition 33. And you might say, I have never heard of that. I don't think I saw that for sale anywhere. Correct. Only 8 of these were ever made. The studio has one of them. And so if you're a fan of Claire Obscure and you want, realistically, the rarest Claire Obscure item that's been produced, not available to everybody else.
Single digits.
Yeah, it is going to be sweet. So we'll have the schedule again on Patreon. If you want to bid for these auction items, it's a charity auction in the chat. And then whoever's the highest bid, we say going, gone, good to go. And then we ship that prize out to you. So we have a ton more stuff. I think we have like over 40 charity auction items this year. It's going to be fun.
And Claire Obscure fans without money also tune in. You're going to be eating good with what we have planned for this stream. I'll just say that.
Okay, it's going to be fun. Also, thank you for supporting Independent Games Media. If you enjoy what we're trying to do here, what we're trying to build here at MinnMax, we greatly appreciate it. We do have a special offer for you where if you jump in and support MinnMax on Patreon at the $5 tier before Monday, October 13th, this coming Monday, we will DM you on Patreon with the Steam code for Herdling, a game that just came out a couple months ago from Okamoto, the developers of Far Lone Sails and Far Changing Tides, some of Kyle Hilliard's most underrated gems for years, and Herdling is definitely an underrated gem from 2025 here. Panic published this thing. So if you would like to get a Steam code for Herdling, we're trying to navigate these beasts across a barren landscape as eagles try and tear them from the fields, you can jump in at the $5 tier on Patreon and we'll DM you that Steam code for Herdling. Or if you upgrade to any tier, including upgrading to the $5 tier, we'll DM you a Steam code for Herdling. Again, offer ends this coming Monday, and at the same time, we will post on social media if we run out of Steam codes, everybody. So we'll also update the description in this thumbnail on this YouTube video. Jeff Marchiafava, Battlefield 6 launching this week. A biggie. Your history with Battlefield, sir. I associate you with being a bad company nut. I'm not just talking about at parties.
Yeah. I liked Bad Company, certainly. I feel like that nostalgia for it has grown over the years as Battlefield has tried to be more like Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And I think I kind of miss a little bit of the magic that was mixed in there. That was like fun and enjoyable, at the time when I originally played those games, but now is like sorely missed. But multiplayer wise, I have gravitated towards Battlefield over Call of Duty, or really, and I don't play a lot of multiplayer shooters, but if I play one, it's Battlefield.
Okay. And so these are early impressions for Battlefield. We talked about it several times on the podcast before. We've dabbled in this single player campaign now. Once it comes out, the big test is just going to be how multiplayer servers are doing on launch day, all that classic conundrum. There's still a thousand things that could go haywire with the launch of this game, but seems like Battlefield fans are going to be happy this time around. It seems like the multiplayer is what people want.
I only played a little bit of the multiplayer last night. It felt I played several hours of the campaign first.
Yeah.
And then I jumped in, and it was like I was jumping into a jacuzzi, and it felt great. They're launching with 9 maps. The maps are all big and, kind of classic Battlefield-esque. They have all their signature modes, and that's that was my biggest takeaway of oh yeah, they figured out a long time ago that Conquest is one of the best multiplayer modes, and it's still great.
Just lean into it.
Any multiplayer mode in a shooter that gives you other things to do other than shooting, I think is just makes it better. Same with battle royales. You can spend a lot of time running around the map. You spend more time not shooting people, but you're constantly progressing because just through virtue of continuing to live, and that feels good.
And capturing points, or what are the non-violent?
Yeah. In Conquest mode, it's you have to get 2 points. They're 5 points or whatever spread out across a map. Your team has to hold them long enough to turn them to your side, and the more of those that you have, the faster the enemy's reserve kind of bleeds out in terms of how many respawns that they still have. And you go for a certain amount of time, or until they run out of tickets, as they call them, or whatever, and then you win. But it's the beauty of it is you can just run to those points and kind of hold them down, and it's not just your kill death ratio doesn't have to be amazing, and you're still contributing to your team, and you can choose the different classes, and that helps out in other ways other than just being the best shooter on your shooting team.
Right. I think jumping in there, they had definitely, pre-release times. We're like, okay, at this time, we'll have player count. Let's focus on this mode and stuff. You want to make sure you're engaged with human players. Like, I jumped into multiplayer and I was like, okay, it's a lot of bots in the pre-release version, which clearly labels it as bots, which is nice. There's not much confusion. Like, there's a handful of like real players just jumping into a random match before it released. So I was in the camp of like, I'm going to wait until this is out in the wild and I'm confident that these are all humans before I really engage with this and feel too good about my skills in multiplayer as I'm just mowing down these stupid bots.
You definitely shouldn't, and you won't once it's out.
Right. Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to this latter for sure. But specifically, from the pre-release stuff, like I know it's not the most battlefieldy thing, but like the team deathmatch stuff, like if you have a good squad, I think this game just feels so good. That is strangely the mode that I'm looking forward to the most. If we can get like a tight group to just go.
So the exact opposite of everything that I said.
Yeah, in some ways. I mean, that's I like fine. A good old-fashioned conquest
they
too.
Have it there. They have it there for a reason,
right?
Certainly, and that's good.
Yeah. So if that's the jacuzzi, Jeffem, jumping into the single player, what body of liquid is that, brother?
It's not one you want to be jumping into. The positive thing that I can say,
it's piss.
Yes,
it's piss, or it's a cold plunge because it's like it's good for you. You want these games to have campaigns, but you don't necessarily want to do it yourself.
But the weird thing is, Leo, it's like a cold plunge.
It's a cold plunge because you want someone else to do it, and that not to be you.
Yeah, it's good content when someone else reacts.
But
to
imagine
it.
piss with like ice cubes in it. That's kind of the cold plunge we're imagining here.
I want to go back to Jeff. I'm talking about the game actually. Now I've gone too far. I regret bringing this up.
Yeah, the positive thing that I can say is it feels like a Call of Duty campaign. That's obviously what they set out to make, and like it has the hallmarks of that kind of experience, and good for them. That's what
big set pieces.
Wow.
What do you consider the hallmarks?
They have the set pieces. You won't believe it. You get in a helicopter early, and boy, does that helicopter go down. It's just how much have you played of it, Hanson?
First 3 missions of it. And
that's about where I stopped.
Okay, it's not.
Within those first 3 missions, Hanson, did your heartbeat raise a single beat more than it was going into it while you were playing it?
No, but I did have 2 moments of like, all right, there. Like when you're diving in, you get beyond the clouds and you see the entire Gibraltar map as you're coming in. I'm like, all right, there's a cool little moment. I'll take that. And then also in that same area, you're going underneath in tunnels, underneath the Rock of Gibraltar, and they have like a World War II museum. And there's like a shootout there, and I'm like, that's cool to be in a World War II museum doing a shootout in a Battlefield game. Like, there's been a couple moments so far. I'm like, okay, there's a little bit. And I think it's
World War II canon.
Exactly. But I think it's a little misleading even to be like, it's a Call of Duty campaign. Because, like, I've fallen off the Call of Duty campaigns in a big way. But even then, when I jumped into, like, Black Ops 6, I'm like, the production values are unbelievable. Like, that just seemed really impressive. Yeah. And this is a notch down from that in a big way.
I'm saying Call of Duty campaign in the sense that it is creatively vapid.
Okay.
That like there are no stakes whatsoever. We're going to hold your hand and lead you from one objective to the next, and you'll press the interact button when you get there.
Yes.
And you're going to ride in an armored Jeep, and you're going to get on that turret, and you're going to shoot at everything that you go by, and you're not even going to take your finger off the trigger because it doesn't matter, and you're going to shoot everything. But the enemies are going to go by so fast that it doesn't matter, and nothing matters. It's all inconsequential.
Yes. There is a weird part of me, though, and I'm curious if you have the same feeling, where it's like, for so much of the messaging for this game, it's like, hey, we're harkening back to Battlefield 3 and 4 specifically. And there is something kind of, it's not going to blow your mind, by no means buy this game for the single player from what I've played so far. It's just like, but framing it from that perspective, there is something kind of charming about like, here's kind of like a mediocre military campaign single player packed into this experience, Like I play it and I'm like, it does feel like a pretty good looking version of a military campaign from like 2011, and that does a little bit for me in my heart of hearts. I'm not too proud to admit
that is the success of capturing a Call of Duty campaign, is like that is what it plays like, and I am just so tired, and I don't know. Like, I want to see the focus group that they brought in, who played through this, and then check the box. Are you excited after playing this?
Well,
wow.
They have explosions. You know,
they have lots of
Sometimes people
explosions.
don't take feedback when they hear it.
See?
I don't know.
Scripted explosions.
How much does this game cost?
70.
Is it 80?
It's 70. Yeah.
70, yeah. I think a single player campaign, I think, just creates value. It makes you feel more okay buying a $70 game, even if you never play it.
I think that's
Are
right.
they
might be
tortilla
the
chips
angle.
on the
Yeah.
table at the restaurant?
Yeah, they are the tortilla chips. That's exactly it. But-
Although I eat the hell out of those in a major way.
Yeah, no,
so I don't know.
same. And if the salsa is good, they're pretty good. There's no salsa in the campaign, though, is what you're saying. They're just stale chips.
Sauce.
I mean, it could, like I said, I played a couple missions. There was one cutscene where they kind of teased like there's some kind of conspiracy going on. Like, what is like the story is dumb, right?
well,
Did you watch the opening animation where it's like a mercenary paramilitary
Pax
group?
Armada. Give them their due, Jeffem.
Yes, they attacked NATO.
Right.
Like they assassinated the head of NATO, and then NATO flinched. They didn't respond. So then everybody started leaving NATO.
Yes.
But it's like the countries in NATO are the ones that would respond to it.
But if one
So like
doesn't, then the entire thing falls like a house of cards. What they're trying to get across, Jeffem. This is ripped from the headlines, baby.
Right. Sure.
Look,
And no one cares that. But like the idea is, well, the paramilitary group is so strong that they don't want to risk going to war with them. So clearly the best idea is we all split up and leave the one military alliance that has 30 countries in it in order to just all fend for ourselves.
Jeffem, I look forward to your essay on the political ramifications of the story or the campaign for Battlefield 6, but it's just, let's give an excuse to go from one vignette to another, which is weird to think of, like the history of campaigns in Battlefield, because like their best-selling game has been Battlefield 1, I believe, and that one, like, people bash the campaign, but I thought it was cool just to have little vignettes of like pockets of like, here's this World War I experience. Here's this other World War I experience. Yeah, Nordley was exactly right.
That one was a different take for, we don't want to build a campaign, but we recognize that we need to have one. So we're just going to do these little disconnected things on maps that we're already building. And yeah, that was more interesting than this.
Yeah.
But it feels like it has been tuned so that anyone can get through it. Like, you cannot get lost. You cannot fail the objective because, like, eventually the teammates on your, the NPCs are going to shoot everybody that's in your way anyway. Like, it is the Truman Show version of being in a war where everyone is there for your sake and to, like, pat you on the head once you get through it. But, like, including the enemies. And
Look,
I want to feel alive.
Okay,
Hanson.
feel alive playing multiplayer then. You can have your beautiful
difficulty
conquest.
levels?
There are.
Like
There are.
that it was night and day. Like I said, that was the jacuzzi. Once I got in there, it was instantly like, oh yes, this feels exciting. I feel like I'm in danger now. Thank you. I can figure out the objective on my own. That kind of like I have agency in a way that I didn't in the campaign because I can choose where I'm going and how I'm going to approach
Free yourself,
enemies,
Jeff.
and it's not just, yes, I can be myself.
But yeah, if you want to see more multiplayer, you can follow MinnMax on Twitch. We got a new episode of Max Settings that we do with NVIDIA where Haley and Leo are going to be going for a flawless run, no deaths run. Is that right?
Yeah, by freaking the way Haley was streaming the beta, it looks like she's poised for that, so that'll be fun. I don't have a code yet, so I'm excited to be a part of the conversation. Jump in.
You can do it 3 p.m. Central on Friday, and it'll be up on YouTube as well if you want to see Haley and Leo tear it up in Battlefield. Just for the strangest comparison of all time, do you guys remember that game called Dreams of Another from Q Games that was shown a little while ago? It's like, hey, it's PSVR 2 supported, but it's also a flat experience on PlayStation if you're curious about it.
You shoot as a main method of interacting, but not like killing people. You're like shooting through crazy 3D environments.
That's
right?
exactly it.
Tearing apart the world.
Creation
Also,
through
describing a
destruction.
non-VR game as flat is like insane.
That's the easiest shorthand, I think. It works, you know?
Because we're talking about a VR game.
Yeah, you know, good old-fashioned flat gaming. But the premise of this game, yeah, the way that it starts out is you are also a soldier in war, but in this very artistic, abstract style. And then you're going into the minds of other characters and experiencing these kind of like surreal environments, but you are uncovering it all using weapons. And so it was just the strangest experience to like be playing the Battlefield. I don't know why I make that mistake. The Battlefield 6 campaign and then jumping back and forth into Dreams of Another, where it's both shooting games, but just complete opposite ends of the spectrum. So it's just like you're walking in. It's a little bit like,
The Black Swan game?
Is it not what Black Swan? White
It's
Swan?
not called Black Swan. It's called Untitled Swan. I'll look it up.
Unfinished
I'll look
Swan?
it up.
Unfinished Swan.
Unfinished Swan,
Thank you.
yeah.
But you're walking in and it looks confusingly like a game that's made in dreams, whereas everything's just kind of fuzzy little orbs, and then you're firing a machine gun into it, and then it's like locking down the geometry and the world around you. And it gets so much more addicting too, as you can switch to like grenades and you just chuck a grenade into this abstract pixelated art and it's like, boosh, and then it locks in the environment. The game itself is not great, but it is strangely satisfying. When we talk about like what is just at its core a satisfying thing to do in games, what is a core 30 seconds of fun you can't deny, using guns to shoot down an abstract environment to some geometry that you're then exploring to uncover little puzzles and interact with various people and stuff, like incredibly fun to just reveal that environment in that way. And so if you're looking for just a satisfying little thing, Dreams of Another's core mechanic is there, even with the rest of it's like really rough VO. And it feels like kind of like a cryptic, dreamy PS3 game, which I think I'm also nostalgic about. You know, in Q Games, the developer released a ton of games for the PS3. They made the ribbon animation in the background of the PS3 and stuff. So
Nice.
it just feels like it's from another era, but reviews have not been kind to Dreams of Another.
Is the problem of it that like you're getting like lost in the environment? Is it just that it feels like narratively like heavy-handed? Like where does the game like where you're like, this is fun, and then it trips on itself? It sounds like what's happening. Like what's causing that?
Stiff, little bit getting lost, getting sent back to the title screen again and again to go into the next chapter. Just like progression in the game just has a really weird, awkward flow to it. And it's a little artsy fartsy, a little overly wordy in certain areas and stuff like that. But I don't know, I'm such a fan
Artsy
of...
fartsy, but with guns.
Yes. An artistic depiction of your beautiful guns, yeah.
I mean, are you moving through a story, or is it like totally vibey, I wonder what's going on? Or do you feel like there is at least a story that's
It's more vibey, just kind of piecing these strings together and kind of, flowers are talking to you, different abstract notions are talking to you and stuff. But it just has me worried a little bit about Q Games, because like I like the studio, co-founded by Dylan Cuthbert back in the day. He was a programmer on Star Fox, kind of legendary developer. And then they made Star Fox Command and the Star Fox 64 remake for 3DS and stuff. And then like PS3, they had like such a great streak of those pixel junk games, like Racers and Monsters and Eden, Shooter, Side Scroller, all that stuff. And I feel like since then, it's like, I don't know if they've had a game that's really hit. Like, they released the Tomorrow Children, which is that weird, funky looking game. It did not hit. Then it shut down. Then they got the rights back to it, relaunched it. It did not hit again. Then they released All You Need Is Help last year. They made Pixel Junk Raiders on Stadia. Pixel Junk Eden 2 back in 2020. No one on Earth talked about, even though I played it a little bit. Pixel Junk Monsters 2, no one really talked about. Dead Hungry, they made a VR game. Just feels like they're in a weird, scrambly state. So I hope that they're small enough where they're able to stick around, because I really do like Q Games. I just wish Dreams of Another was kind of a home run for them, and it doesn't seem like it's going to be, but fun core mechanic for sure. You know what's really satisfying at a core level, Jeff?
No, I don't.
sad.
What are you talking
Can't think of
about?
anything?
Come on, man.
I couldn't think of anything funny.
Just
Is it
Surely
HelloFresh?
something satisfies you.
No, it's not HelloFresh. Will you get your head out of your butt? It's Factor Meals, everybody. We're talking
HelloFresh
about...
sucks, dude.
We're talking about
Damn it.
chef-prepared, dietitian-approved meals that make it easy to stay on track and enjoy something comfortable and delicious no matter how hectic the season of the fall gets. Things are changing around you. Time to just lock in this next quarter of your life with some good, easy, ready-to-go meals, Jeffem. Forget the grocery store. Forget cooking. All you need to do, order some Factor meals. They'll ship a box right to your darn house. You open it up, you pop it in the microwave, as good as can be. You jump in there, 2 minutes in the microwave then. You have a delicious meal ready to go. They got more variety, more meals. You can choose from a wider selection of weekly meal options, including premium seafood choices like salmon and shrimp at no extra cost. And you can savor global flavors. For the first time ever, Leo, you can try Asian-inspired meals with bold flavors influenced by China, Thailand, and more. 97% of customers say that Factor helped them live a healthier life. You can feel the difference no matter your routine. You can eat smart at factormeals.com/MinnMax50 off. Use code MinnMax50 off to get 50% off your first box plus free breakfast for 1 year. That's code MinnMax50 off at factormeals.com for 50% off your first box plus free breakfast for 1 year. Get delicious, ready-to-eat meals delivered with Factor. I love Factor. Whenever I have it in the fridge, I feel so good. The offer is only valid for new Factor customers with a code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase. Links below if you want to check it out. Thanks to Factor. Yeah. Jeff and Leo, there's a game called CloverPit. Believe it or not, beautiful CloverPit. The pitch seems easy. Of, hey, Balatcha roguelike on a slot machine. I think we saw this in a presentation a while ago, and we're like, oh, this looks like trouble. This looks like it's going to activate and melt our brains. Have you all been playing a lot of CloverPit? How are you feeling about this combo made in hell?
According to Steam, we've each played 8 hours, but for some reason, Jeffem's beat it, and I'm not anywhere close.
Interesting.
I'm curious to get into that.
Play only roguelikes for the next 2 years and then come back to it.
You speak the language.
Yes. Also, it's a luck be a landlord like Hansen. It's never been more apropos than to call that one out because that was the first slot machine roguelike. It's very important that we get these right.
I agree.
Sorry, I was just wondering if you knew this was where your life would go.
Absolutely not. No. But yes, it's good. I enjoyed it. I don't think it has the kind of endless replayability of a Balatro or Luck Be Landlord kind of roguelike, but there's kind of more of a set path that you go through it that made it interesting. And obviously the vibes are on point if you like that kind of PS1 style warpy, models and horror theming.
Kind of creepy. It all takes place in one room, and you go play your slot machine, and then you turn around and buy stuff from the shop, and there's like little secrets that you uncover within the room between runs. And it does feel like progression is maybe a little more linear, where it does feel like you unlock new charms to buy, classic roguelike modifiers or whatever, that are straight up better than the ones you had before. It does feel like you can do better and better, which is nice because sometimes you're playing that slot machine and it's just a slot machine and you don't get nothing. You don't win it.
It is.
But then when you're really getting like luck is a stat, which means you will have guaranteed a certain amount of the same symbol for the number of luck that you have. So you can end up getting a jackpot if you get luck over 15 because there's only 15 symbols. So you can play around with that, and it's satisfying to be like getting ridiculously good odds at this slot machine.
It's cool in that it feels like a more condensed kind of run that you would get in a roguelike game. Your goal is to break it like any roguelike run. Course. But you can do it in like the second or third round sometimes, depending on, because everything is coming down to those little lucky charms that you get. They actually call them lucky charms.
Smart.
And so like if you get a good roll in term, or refresh the market and you just get a couple that synergize really well, like you're going to be good for the rest of the run, which doesn't actually take that long. It's like 20 minutes or whatever. And that feels good to be able to break it quickly. And then it kind of, things reset. It gets a little bit harder. The concept of ascension levels are just kind of built into the progression as you're playing through kind of the mystery. It kind of has vibes of the other horror roguelike that people yelled at us that we neglected for too long.
Inscription.
Inscription?
Inscription, yes.
Oh,
It looks like that. It doesn't have the depth of Inscription, but it's like I ended up getting more interested in the kind of pieces that you had to put together there are specific things that you have to do in a certain run in order to beat it, and then in order to find the kind of secret ending, and those are just kind of like wrinkles that you have to figure out how you're going to get to fall into place during any given run, and that made it kind of interesting. It's also one where I feel like you are unlocking more of the lucky charms that you can get in a run, but it feels like you can you get to know the pool. It's not, some games it's like, oh, I'm looking for 3 things out of 1,000, and you just kind of can't strategize in that way. Like here you can kind of get a good sense of a few different avenues that will be good for you and that will work pretty consistently.
There have been plenty of times it's like, I want this one specific thing and I have a little currency to burn. Let me re-roll the shop until I get it. And then within 1 to 3 re-rolls, I just get the thing I was hoping to get.
Nice.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
The base, like pulling the slot machine and the things lining up, pretty satisfying, pretty fun.
There's a reason it's
enjoy that?
sweeping the world for the last 100 years.
Yeah. It did take a while. Like my biggest complaint early on was I just didn't the odds are kind of obfuscated in terms of how is this machine actually working once you understand the luck thing, but even and there's like a secondary luck mechanism beyond what Leo explained about the actual stat of luck, where it's like, if when you pull the lever you see sparks, that is like boosting your luck inherently, and so there are just times where you're pulling it and it's like, I didn't get anything for the first 3 rolls and now I have 12 cherries for some reason, and that feels artificial, and it's so like the first hour or two I was like, how are these odds working? It doesn't really make a lot of sense. You can boost the odds for individual symbols, but it will be like, okay, well now gold bars went from being 20% to being 40%. But it's like that, I don't like, those percentages don't affect what the percentages are for the other things that can show up. And that's not how percentages work. Like, what are these percentages adding up to if not 100%? And it's not easy to kind of, if you like really gaming the odds and understanding the odds, this is a little bit more vibe based. You put all your upgrades into, I want to make sure I get diamonds as much as possible, and then for some reason whenever you get a jackpot it's always bells, which you've not put anything into the value of or the odds to be above or below, and it's like maybe just totally random, but it's just unsatisfying, which is of course baked in, and I'm sure part of the point. And you can roll and get a 666 and then you lose all your money. And sometimes I was just getting that constantly. I was constantly getting jackpots and then getting them taken from me. And you have to let go of that in a way. It does feel like part of it too. Just accept the randomness of it. No matter how much you are speccing and being smart, there is always going to be a huge element of luck involved, non-stat luck. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Jeff, and what do you think about the name Parlor Rogues for this genre? The Balatro likes. Where you take parlor games, classic games, but you make the roguelike version of it. Brendan Bigley, friend of the show over at Wavelengths there and Into the Aether, he made a YouTube video all about this genre of Balatro likes. What do you call these when you're fusing it with well-known games, like a slot machine, stuff like that? And then in the comments, somebody from the Balatro publishing team, they're like, yeah, internally we call them Parlor Rogues. And I kind of like it as a classification. Do you accept it, sir?
I guess. I don't want any more. I don't want to. Sure. Just stop at I guess, I suppose. Yeah, I don't want to have to learn any more terms for rogue. I know Kyle's always in here every other week trying to get us to all just say rogues instead of roguelikes. And
wait, no, I'm with him. I'm doing that. I'm doing that. Yeah,
it's really cool.
And it's reached other places.
No one's making actual roguelikes is the problem, though.
Right.
Like no one's going to be like, oh, by roguelike you clearly mean a game that's like Rogue, the game that everybody knows in and out, and it's meeting all the criteria of what a roguelike is.
Well, the thing is, I can avoid the like versus light. Yeah, I don't want to deal with that. and no one's
Yeah.
ever asked any follow-up questions. So I've just been getting away with it.
Yeah, keep
So-
plowing
Just-
ahead.
I
And no
just
one
call
makes
them all
likes
roguelikes,
anymore.
and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Just stop trying to make new words. Stop trying to make fetch.
Oh
happen.
yeah, everyone,
We don't-
cool it with English. Lock it in time forever, says Jeff.
Got all the words, guys. We're done.
We can't have
We
any
invented them
more.
constantly for the whole of humanity, and now we stop.
I will say that's a good point, though, that I don't think light. I feel like when the genre was first emerging, there was this big differentiation point between the likes and the lights. But I think that has fallen away. So yeah, I think roguelite, obsolete term.
Yep. Done.
Done.
I agree.
Yeah, CloverPit.
Okay, we're getting a lot done today. Good job, everyone.
Efficiency. But it's made by Panic Arcade, who are the developers of Yellow Taxi Goes Vroom. That game from last year, a couple years ago. I like that little game. So it's
That was a
funny
fun game,
twist.
yeah.
Fun game. CloverPit is the name of that. If you want some more roguey stuff. Hey, speaking of games that are kind of like other experiences, there's this game called Lego Party that has dropped. Now, squint and you might say, what's this, Mario Party? And we say, nay, this is a game called Lego Party.
Listen better.
Yeah, first of all, check the description of the podcast because we put timestamps there for a reason. We're talking about Lego Party. This is at SGF. Folks played it a little bit there, but now this whole thing is out absolutely everywhere. Leo and Ben Reeves and I played around yesterday in person here. Reviews have been super kind to this. Jana, have you got to play Lego Party as well?
No, should I?
Yes, I think so. I think it's too much to be like, holy cow, this is a revolution in the Mario Party space. But at the same time, if I'm like hanging out with friends and there's any inkling of people wanting to play Mario Party, it's like, I think I'd rather play Lego Party at this point than a Mario
Sure.
Party.
The idea of Mario Party, but made by sane people, is like a really good pitch. And I only wish this varied a little bit more. It's crazy how much it's explaining to you the rules of Mario Party.
Right.
But it is a very refined version of it. Good presentation of the Lego bricks flying around. And the mini games were all hits.
Yeah.
We were all enjoying the mini games. They each were simple and were mostly just moving the thumbstick, which is great for, getting non-gamers comfortable and involved. And yet there was depth, and some of them were round based. So it's I learned something from the last round. I get taken to the next one while still being short and mini game size for sure.
Yeah,
I totally enjoyed playing it.
Yeah, it gets rid of that feeling of just kind of all right, just as I'm learning the minigame, now it's done and I'm screwed, but having some of these be round based, it's okay, now I get another chance at this, I got another chance at this to go through. And yeah, it's every...
How does it rank against the real juggernaut here, Pokemon Stadium Kids Club?
Okay, well, if you're bringing in the behemoth of the room, I mean...
Because the only thing I have with these, and this is honestly, I'm biased in that Isaiah doesn't play Mario Party. He hates Mario Party, so I never end up playing Mario Party. But also, I hate Mario Party now too because I feel like it hasn't been good since the ones on the GameCube.
Okay.
I mean, don't make me check back in and start a fight. I will. I don't know, but I just feel so often I feel it's described as filling a need, right? Oh, friends over, the vibes. Okay, cool. But is it fun beyond filling that need? Because I feel like Jackbox also can kind of fill that need. And I get that there are very different kinds of games because one's mechanical and one is wordy and whatever. But are you getting heat from those mini games the way I got that? Because Pokemon Stadium, I'll still play that now. And I love those mini games.
Janet, I hate to tell you, I love Pokemon Stadium as well. I think I don't know if the Lickitung game is really holding up as a grand minigame experience.
When's
here.
the last time you booted that thing?
Literally
up? Because
within
I
the
did
last
that
couple of
literally-
years.
There's your
I did,
problem. You need to
within
have played
the
it when you were a
month.
kid and not
Yeah.
since then.
I know.
No, I played that within this month. I stand by that game. That game is fun as hell.
Okay, they're all right. I mean, there's certainly some nostalgia
Maybe
glasses
we're just
happening
two different
here.
people. No, there's. Maybe. Obviously, there's I have reverence for it because I played as a kid. There's a lot of games I played as a kid though that aren't good anymore to me. I think I genuinely still have fun playing that. I'll play you in it right now.
Okay, look, I'll take it.
One of us would have a great time.
No, I would love to
maybe
play
not.
those games. I'm just saying that Run Rattata Run, whatever that crap is.
I don't know. I'm hearing that you hate it.
No,
that's all I heard from that.
I haven't.
You like it, but it's not sacred.
You're about to say you're glad it exists, aren't you? So just
Here's my take. I love Pokemon Stadium. In the heart of my hearts. Hook me up to any lie detector. Put me through your crazy TSA scanner. It'll say nothing but Pokemon Stadium love in entire body. At the same time, I would put money down that the worst mini game in Lego Party is better than any game in Pokemon Stadium.
Wow.
Okay.
You know what? I gotta get into this then, because I have a lot of fun playing those games still. So maybe this will be the one that can win over my household.
Yeah, I mean, but I do think, like, so Lego Party's got like 60 mini games. You can like edit it, so you can turn some off along the way if you really don't like
That's
any.
nice.
But we liked every one that we had, and like looking at like video reviews and stuff, seems like everyone's like, yeah, these are all pretty much great little mini games. Simple stuff, just snowboarding down the hill might have been my favorite out of the batch. So like ski free like clone and stuff.
You know what's interesting is we didn't play nearly all of them, but we didn't get any that were random ass chance the way Mario Party has like those try to fill the balloon without popping it things.
Right.
And in general, I think something I like about Mario Party, it's not balanced. You want a sense where skill matters sometimes. There are big moments where somebody makes a decision that has an impact, but anybody can win. Random stuff happens constantly. This game has a little of that. You can get a golden brick, which is the equivalent of a star, which is the thing you win the game with, from a random square. You just happen to get buried treasure that's a golden brick. But there aren't post-game awards of the person who got the most studs, randomly giving one to the person who walked the least or whatever happens in Mario Party, the stuff where surprise upsets can happen.
Yeah.
It seems like it's trying to be a little more skill-based, which is, again, I want somebody to do a twist on Mario Party and not just remake it wholesale. And maybe if that's what they're doing is it's a little more skill-based, I respect that. But for a party game like Janet's saying, where it fills a need, I want that bit of randomness, that chaos that you either get frustrated by or give yourself to.
I think that's definitely still there in, the map design itself. There's still plenty of like, all right, you land on a space, and that means that this person has to give this person all of their studs, which is the equivalent, of yada, 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 of the coins. Like, I still feel like in the
even
map.
that, you picked what you wanted. There was a time you wanted something and got it.
But
as far as rolling, it's like you can see what number is about to come up and kind of time it. It's like in a little bit more of a way, even if it is still, you can't every single time do exactly what you want. It's not totally skill based. It's a little more in that direction, I think.
So you want more bullshit?
I found I missed the bullshit a little bit. Yeah.
Interesting.
And if it's not going to have that, make it more in that direction, more in the direction of skill based.
Yeah. Yeah. Jeff, you've been playing it with the kiddos?
I only played a little bit. We jumped into a couple mini games, and he wasn't loving them, including your precious snowboarding.
Really?
So,
but dude, if you give him that Ekans toss from Pokemon Stadium, he's going to be hopping up and down. He's going to say, now this is game design.
You got to give him the N64 controller, though, because the minigames were designed around the fact that controller was stiff as all hell. They're like, this is going to be the most sensitive minigame we've ever made because it's the hardware necessitates it. So there's a little bit of that, the Ekans toss really hits better on the OG hardware, not NSO.
Right.
So you want to go out, get an N64, get like an updated, old, new N64 controller, and then you're really, we're stuck cooking over here.
Yeah,
there's only like 8 mini games though.
Reasonable.
Yeah.
All of that.
But like the highs, this is the cost of luxury, Jeffrem. This is the cost of an
I
experience.
I don't want it.
Such a great idea by
I don't make any
Nintendo
money
to
off this, so
make the controller for the N64 have more grips than you had hands.
Yeah.
They popped off with that.
That was really
made
fun.
sense.
I think it was great. It's so people with who are left-handed could hold the controller. That was the idea because Miyamoto's left-handed.
Oh, stupid.
Oh, interesting. Left-handed people, yeah. But
luckily that's their only dumb controller, so no worries there.
it's not forever. I will say, the Lego Party, 3 cynical adults playing it yesterday. Like, there's a lot of VO. There's like announcers kind of running throughout the entire thing. Like, it made us laugh out loud several times in that VO, which is like, that is a real accomplishment.
The presentation definitely seems like a plus and kind of builds on what is already a strength of kind of all those Lego franchises of like, they have fun commentary and, obvious character customization. You can pick through a million different minifigs and stuff like that.
You get like XP and you're like unlocking new minifigs. You can like mix and match in there and save your loadouts and all that stuff. Like, they got a little progression in there, which is kind of fun and funky. Yeah.
But it's so sad that left-handed people can't play games anymore.
Yeah.
That's rocking me.
It is. Lego Party, it's like, I hope it does well. Like, if this doesn't do well, it's like a really well-made Mario Party. Like, I hope that people get it. You know, if you're kind of sick of Mario Party or you have some nostalgia about it.
If this doesn't do well, what will they do other than go back and make billion-dollar franchises on every single movie game?
Well, it's a confusing thing. That's technically different studios, right? So the Lego.
But it's Lego. Lego's getting the money. That's all they care about.
So this is technically made by SMG Studio, who made like the moving out games.
We're worried about the party part, Jeff. Not the Lego part.
Yeah.
But you remember Sping, that game that Leo and I were very into on Apple Arcade, like the one figure swinging around the game that's like Pixel Junk Eden, just to connect all these dots. Like that's also the team that made this. But it seems cool. Good for them. They pulled it off.
I hope there's a Sping mini game in it. That'd be cool. Sping inspired.
I was just looking at their history. They have
That'd be a cute Easter egg.
That would be cute. They have another game that came out years and years ago that looks like it's kind of like progenitor to Sping, and it's like multiplayer. It's called One More Line. I was like, oh, maybe we could put that down for the charity stream local Steam multiplayer session or something. See if that actually would be fun.
Progenitor Sping.
Yeah, we're really into Sping progenitors here, MinnMax.
What a phrase.
Lego Voyagers is also out. 2 Lego games in recent succession. Janet, you've played this one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this is the sequel, right, to Lego Builder's Journey. Did I get the name of that game right?
Yeah, you got it.
Okay. Which is a game I really loved. That one was single player, and it kind of had like a soft narrative focus. Like there was no like dialogue, and this one doesn't have dialogue either from what I saw. But it was just like a little light story of like father and son, I think was the setup of that one.
Right.
Incredible visuals, some really nice like kind of haptics and audio design. And this continues like that visual fun and fidelity. Like it's such a beautiful looking Lego game. And this one is multiplayer, and it's basically you're progressing through these little environments and sort of solving light environmental puzzles is basically the mechanical structure of it. And honestly, like I love this game so
Really?
far. I was really, really into it. I was a little nervous because what I'd heard from some people was just like, I don't know, like you're kind of like the puzzles are super simple, like you're kind of just sleepwalking through it. And I think that critique has like aspects of accuracy to it, right? It's like a very simple game. You don't have to be thinking like at all. You think less consistently in this game than you do in like Lego Horizon, whatever that game was named fully. Ben, you can fix that. Because like that's like a very also brain off game like vibe. You just go and you like kill enemies and you go to the next room. But because you're like doing combat, you are constantly thinking a little bit. And this has like bigger gaps between the puzzles, I think is kind of what's unique to this kind of setup. But I found it just to be wildly relaxing and peaceful and really lovely in that sense. So like this was a game that frankly, I booted this thing up at night after working for 9+ hours of recorded content. Like I was so depleted when I booted this thing up. I was like, I guess let me check this out.
Yeah, that was, she was doing half of one episode of Pew Pew Bang.
No, I literally did record Pew Pew Bang yesterday. I recorded Pew Pew Bang and I streamed Persona 5 for 5.5 hours. So I was running on nothing. Mm-hmm. And then when I booted this up, like a breath of fresh air, like a nice exhale at the end of a day. It was so lovely. I'm playing it with my fiance, who I've also played a lot of, little multiplayer games with, Lego games with. And he also was pretty into it as well, which like I think speaks a little bit to its, I don't know, lovely range. Like I think it's a very like pleasing game. And I think the only like real critique I have is that like, I don't know, the puzzles aren't more like complex, but I don't think every game needs to be everything, right? I don't think they're going for like complex puzzle. I think they're going for fun feel. And the physics layer of it also creates a lot of like funny moments. Like I laughed out loud while I was playing this game where we like had a sequence where they're trying to teach you like different, ways you can solve things and get around, where we like sort of latched on to a bunch of, because you play as 2 little one-piece pieces.
That's it.
And you latch onto each other, and then you can kind of like roll as if you're like a giant wheel on the loose.
Right.
And like that kind of stuff I find like so fun, so amusing, so playful. I really feel like this is a nice, lovely time. Like it's not necessarily a must-play game because I don't think it's doing anything totally mind-blowing.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for like a peaceful co-op, just nice time together, like I found this to be like completely lovely. Like I'm really looking forward to finishing it. Like I instantly kind of love this game. But what was it like for you, Ben? And who are you? I think it's mandatory co-op, right? So who are you playing with?
Yeah, I didn't care for it. I invited
No, I could tell.
Yeah, you can tell by my face. No, I invited Ben
There's
Reeves.
a lot of things given away.
But Ben Reeves came over a while ago. It's funny that we've just played 2 Lego games. Coincidentally, the last 2 times he came to my house. We were like, all right, let's just have a night of sitting down for co-op with Lego Voyagers. We both like Lego Builder's Journey. This will be cool. I don't know, maybe we weren't in the mood for it after all, but we went in with like an open mind. It was just a series of kind of like, okay, kind of boring little puzzles. Maybe it is certainly smooth and soothing. And if you're very in the mood for kind of a series of light puzzles in co-op, I get it. But for some reason, it's just one of those like, this is one of those games that sure you could spend a lot of time in it. I don't know why you would when there's other experiences out there.
I think because they're like, how many, name them. Because like, I'm always looking for like a local co-op thing to play with my partner.
Yeah.
And I find there's not many. And I don't think that's an excuse for like, oh, because it is, you know, there's weak games in every genre. I play a lot of narrative games that end up sucking because I love the genre, so I'm hitting it up and it burns me plenty and I keep touching the stove because I love the stove. So I'm not saying that automatically makes it good, but like I would actually argue that this is kind of like filling a need that doesn't get filled that often. Like I'm always on the look for like games to play with my partner, especially that have a cooperative element where it's truly cooperative. It's not necessarily just us doing the same thing, but like
right,
you're doing your thing and I'm doing my thing, you know, and like we don't get a lot of those. And that's why like the last one we played together was the Lego Horizon game because like they just aren't really that common.
Yeah.
So for me, it's also like a nice like, oh, this has this pleasing element and it's something I can do with my partner. We can like talk about, again, the puzzles are not complicated, but it's like, okay, bring this piece here. Or, oh, I think we have to do this. And like something about that is it's like a nice moment of like connection with another person. Like that was my experience playing it. And I thought what it brought to the table a bit.
Yeah.
And it gets more complicated as you go on. The Lego company lost my son with Lego Party, and then they got him right back.
Really?
Lego Voyagers.
Got him
Yes.
coming and
Oh,
going.
I
You know,
Again,
that's-
he's
Flip those
5 years
so hard.
old, but he was enjoying
started
running
playing
around
games
as a
when I was
little Lego
5.
and like
You
having
seem
to
really
build
ashamed
up
that he's 5,
stairs.
the way you keep saying that.
yeah.
The problem with playing with a 5-year-old is we got to the level with the boat where you drive
yes.
the boat around,
Yes.
and then he just wanted to go back to the boat and was like, well, when are we going back to the boat? And he kept on trying to get into the menu and go back in the chapter, and I'm like, I am not doing the boat part again. Let's just keep going forward. But yeah, it's like it feels like the ideal situation for playing with a little kid that you love.
Or a kid at heart.
Or a kid at
That's
heart.
where I fall, yeah.
True.
So-
Yes. But like as it was going yes, it was very simple at first, and then it was like, okay, now we have to figure out how to get these pieces, make these pieces to fill in the train track here, and we're driving a little, like rover all over the place and having to turn little like metal pieces into ore pieces, and like it gets more involved than just the first, kind of very simple puzzles and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think it is.
He's been enjoying it.
It is cool, I think, that, co-op games have always been around. I do feel like there's more security in them in the industry after Hazelight, and their games have sold 14 gazillion copies, apparently. Every sales report about their games are just like, what? How are that many people playing It Takes Two? But I do think like that has wedged open a space maybe for a game like this, which is mandatory co-op. And
Yeah, would this exist without those? Yeah,
I don't know. Think so. It'd probably be a tougher pitch, at least,
Yeah.
So yeah, it is. You're right, Janet. It is cool that this little co-op experience exists. And if you really like Lego Builder's Journey and you're looking for your chill co-op experience with some silly Lego
Don't play
physics
it with
as you're kind of
Reeves.
interconnecting,
Play with
and
someone
keep
that you
Ben
love.
Reeves out of here.
Lego Builder's Journey. It's not as good as Lego Builder's Journey. Like I'll give you
Yeah.
that. Like it's not gonna like light because I feel like that was like it felt like a real moment, and this just feels like, oh, this is like a cool game, right? Like it's not gonna be in my top 10, but like I'm really enjoying playing it.
Oh, good.
I will say, just to toss like one criticism of the game out there, it just fall victim to what a lot of co-op like kind of puzzle games end up falling into, which is like you do a thing and then I do that exact same thing, which like is not a horrible construction by any means, but I am, I'm much earlier than you are, even Jeff. I mean, I know it's not even that long of a game, but I'm hoping that there are a couple light shakeups. But like, I think the fact that it's a short experience, it's like, cool, we're here, we're just vibing. It's like, anything could happen because I haven't finished it yet, but I'd be surprised if like by the end I was like, okay, this thing kind of was a little like mid or it sucked or anything kind of thing. Like I think I'm just going to end up just enjoying my time overall, which yeah, I'm looking forward to the rest of it.
Sweet. Lego Voyagers is the name.
I'm gonna check
of
that out.
game. Yeah, I
That
hope
sounds
you
like
like
something my wife. and
Yeah,
I
I'll
would
be
like.
curious what you and your wife think of it.
Wife.
My wife.
I should also note we've been playing on Switch 2 and it runs like ass still somehow.
Oh, really?
I'm on
Legos,
PS5.
like it's
I'm on
it's not
PS5,
great.
and I peeked at the second I enjoyed this game. I said, "What's that platinum look like?" So I'll report back. No guarantees, but maybe we catch a vibe and go for that.
I was impressed, by the way. We're playing Lego Party on, it was a Switch 1 game, but playable on Switch 2, right? So naturally there's a little bit of boost thing there happened. But I was bracing for impact. Like, playing a Switch 1 game in the year 2025? How's this going to look? And Lego Party, I was surprised that it looked as good as it did. That said, it did lock up twice, which was, it kept on going, but it was a good 5 seconds of, is this
Thought it
game
was over, yeah.
completely done, or what's happening here? So funky stuff. Leo, are you playing Dying Light the Beast with your beautiful wife?
No, she's far away when I'm playing this.
Good.
She'd be too scared.
No kidding. So what is this? You weren't that into Dying Light 2, yet the standalone
Yes.
expansion here has grabbed you.
And it feels like it's just, I'm in the mood for it now. It doesn't feel that substantially different at all. I will say the setting is really cool.
Come back to Dying Light 2, Leo. There's dozens of us.
Totally, Dying Light 2 is on I have a list of games that it's like, I know I'm going to like this when I decide to go back to it. Dying Light 2 is totally on that list, but this just came out and I was like, I may as well check out the new one. And it being set in the Alps is really cool. Really cool
Yeah.
architecture and natural stuff blended in with the cities and the tall buildings and things. And the parkour is as good as it's ever been, and it's just fun to explore. Those are the two main factors. It's missing in a billion other ways, but it's like, I just want to do parkour through that cool setting, and everything else is gravy.
And so the premise here is that you're turning into the Beast throughout the game?
Throughout the game, you're turning into the Beast, which I think is implemented pretty well. It's a cool visual effect where you go beast mode and you suddenly, all these zombies that each individual one is a threat if you're not careful, the way Dying Light is set up. But suddenly you go into beast mode and you're backhanding their heads off like it's nothing. And it's very satisfying. And it's also cute the way you get the beast powers and you don't know how to control them. And then it's 4 things down on the skill tree is now you can choose when you enter beast mode. But until then, it's just when the bar fills, you just go ballistic.
That's
which I think is
interesting.
Oh my God.
cute.
That's
I just
cool.
realized this is just turning into Dark Jack from Jack and Daxter.
So it's good.
Which I had a good time doing that. I was just wait, where have I heard this story before?
Dying Light Dark Jack. Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It's a fun idea of, it's like the Hulk. It takes a while before you can actually control it. And so just to have it, I'm suddenly out of control, raging beast. That does seem fun.
Yeah, and I don't mind that being skill tree gated at all. Which is part of my complaint with Dying Light 2 was it feels like the core moveset isn't that fun and everything I want is later down in the skill tree. And I just don't want to put in that much time before I find out whether I like the real moveset you get.
Right.
And this game is a little bit of that. I think there is more moves than they tell you about. You go into the menu and you can find oh, I can hold square and a direction as a zombie's coming towards me and I redirect their momentum. I can push them off a ledge or throw them into other ones. There's parkour and combat moves that they never tutorialize that are really cool and do make the core moveset a lot more fun. So learning that has made me have more patience for unlocking the later things on the skill tree that I have been really feeling are mandatory. Power, holding sprint and dashing is on the skill tree. Stuff like that is just crazy.
Huh.
But I do have a mod that triples the XP gain. And that makes it about right. It's maybe a little too slow still, but they really want these games to be a grind, and I'm glad to be modding past that. And maybe I feel differently,
so
and
you're
I
corking your
shouldn't.
bat for enjoying the game.
I really am, and I think if it was a contender for Game of the Year or something, I would maybe be a little more sacred about it. I want to have the actual experience,
Right.
versus I want to just unlock everything on the skill tree and just jump ahead to having that experience. But this game is. I've been really engaged with it, keep coming back to it, excited to boot it up for sure, but it's not quite on that other level. And there's a bunch of reasons for that. And there don't have to be any besides every piece of loot. And there's a lot of loot is 3% buff to your headshot damage.
Right.
And that's, I
Yeah.
just have principles. I'm just never going to put that up for Game of the Year. I get like 10% or 20% is like too crazy maybe, but 5% is too crazy. That would break the game to get loot that has a 5% buff to your headshot damage.
It is so
It's
nice.
insulting.
Right, and
you
you
insult
should
me,
say
I
it.
insult you.
Yeah, you got to have that magic, like,
Yeah,
you know.
tit for tat.
Yeah.
An eye for an eye.
Eye for an eye makes the whole world
Forget how the
even.
rest of it goes. Yeah.
But like, you know, Hades 2, it's still, as I'm continuing to play that, it is so fun. Just to have like those types of boons where you have to like double check it of like, this can't be as powerful as I think it is. You know, it's like, that seems overpowered if you give me this ability to suddenly I can just attack twice in a row, even that like simple one in that game, you know? And so it's such a fun dividing line between those games that have the plus 2% critical chance win in this situation. It's like that versus like, let's just balance up and make these wild swings and everything else can beat that in theory.
No, it's like they know people like getting purple loot and they don't want it to like impact how they design the game too much. That's how it feels. And that's
Right. So is this
feels
kind of
like-
in your zone of like when you're really into playing Mad Max on the Steam Deck or whatever, just kind of like you just want to like have your chill out, open world-ish, let me just run through this thing type of vibe?
Kinda, yeah. But well, honestly, Mad Max I like never listened to. I had podcasts on the whole time. In this game, I'm listening to the vast majority of the time. It is a good sense of place. I'm on brutal difficulty, so the zombies are a real threat, and you lose XP when you die.
Oh, that's cool.
And I like that bit of like strategizing and planning, crafting before I go into a scary encounter, so I have the consumables, Molotov cocktails, and throwing knives and stuff that will make it a bit more of a guarantee. And getting out of situations when they are too hairy. You know, my life mattering is a big part of why I'm enjoying this game for sure. It's less than a comfort food thing. It's more I'm engaged in this gritty, cool thing. And I just love the depth of the parkour. I'm sorry for Assassin's Creed Shadows catching so many strays as Ghost of Yotei comes out and things, but God, it makes a world of difference to have parkour that like you press the button to do a specific thing and you can fail at it and it's your fault.
Yeah.
Versus it's tried to be totally smoothed over and sometimes things go wrong and you don't have anything to learn from it. This game, I'm like getting better at the parkour. And then in a clutch moment where you're escaping in a night chase or whatever that are still really scary and really high stakes, you test your skills at it versus just getting boned randomly.
Totally. It's fun. Like, it seems like it's kicking butt sales wise. It's like sold over 1.5 million copies. Just like the, you know, basically the Miles Morales to Dying Light 2's Dying Light Spider. What? It's the Miles Morales. It's Dying Light's Miles Morales.
Yeah, sure.
But just
It feels pretty big though. Like I thought it was more of a spin-off, but it's a gigantic game.
okay, it doesn't
Yeah, it's
feel
basically
like
like
the
a full
expansion.
game. I never played the first Dying Light, and I think that's one of the reasons that I like Dying Light 2. I think a lot of people were like, this is just not as good as the first one, which might be true.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed my time with 2, and the parkour, like you said, Leo, was super fun, so I should probably dig into this. The only beef I have with Dying Light 2, well, maybe not the only, but the ending, I think, really, really sucks. Like the final fight, the whole like little area. But there's a mission right before that, like the last mission you do where you're climbing a radio tower. And it's like one of the best missions I've played, I feel like, in a game. Like I think of that mission like regularly. But that's the platformer fan in me because parkouring is just platforming in first person.
And there are like towers you're climbing in this, which are so, you know, played out. Everybody's done with towers and open world games, but
Yeah.
the parkour being so in depth and the rope stuff. How much rope stuff was there in Dying Light 2? Rope physics.
I gotta be honest, I can't like accurately speak to it with confidence, but to your point with the towers, I think what differentiates the towers in Dying Light is so many other games, you go up to a tower and then you kind of just like touch it and it's like, it's unlocked, or you climb up to the top, but it's literally just the act of physically holding up on the stick and you go up, and that's it. It's like an experience to go up the tower. So you really feel like you have to like earn it, but it's like fun to earn. It's not like it's like wildly difficult, but just difficult enough where it's like, this is something I have to think about a little bit. And then when I get up there, it's like my reward for a job well done is the thing that you get with the tower, which I feel like not enough games add like an actual mechanical relevance to the tower. It's just like a thing you go to.
Yeah, I totally. And tell me if this is in Dying Light 2 at all, because one of the cool parts about it in this is for a lot of these towers, you are grabbing a cable to set power up and you strap the cable to you and it says distance of cable left. And as you're climbing and as you go around obstacles, you look behind you and the rope is getting caught on planks you're going past.
Ooh,
and
cool.
the length is going down. And some of the puzzles are, how do I get to the outlet in the shortest amount of meters of this cable where
Ooh.
there's enough cable to reach it?
I don't think so. I searched Tower, and I actually have a review for Dying Light 2 on my website, pen2pixels.com, if anyone wants to read my thoughts, which honestly, I should read my thoughts because I don't remember what my thoughts were. Other than I thought game was good, and that one mission like ripped. I don't think it had it because at a glance, I don't see that in here. But yeah,
Well,
like that sounds even better.
It is super cool and super unique. And I'm sure it is a part of the grapple hook stuff too, which is, the main reason I got into this game, I gave it a try, honestly, is been true of so many things, is Stealth Gamer BR made a video where he does cool stealth stuff in it and makes it look really, really fun. And like, there's a huge variety of moves. The grapple hook is like another example of, I wish I got this earlier. But I know the parkour itself is fun. You don't need the grappling hook. You're not missing it. It's just that I know it's coming and I'm kind of mainlining story to get to it and I'm still not getting it.
Right.
It definitely has some of that bloat. It's like it's a big game, and that's part of the reason why I'm doing the triple XP mod is I just want to I want to play it, and I don't want to play the fully bloated version of it. I want to get to all the
playing on the hardest difficulty. I think you're doing it the right way. This is really cool about the experience. But Dying Light the Beast, name of that.
Also, it's like a boss rush. It's to get beast pills that give you your beast powers. Yeah. You're fighting so many bosses, and I swear to God, 90% of them charge at and you dodge and they hit the wall. I swear to God, it's the vast majority. It's just a gamer-esque game for gamers,
I know exactly.
Yeah, they're like two
what that
notches
means.
down from like an actual like this is wildly like hot in the streets and people need to play it, but they're like just enough down from that you're like, maybe someday this is going to be like in that upper echelon, but until then, yeah, it's really fun seeing the ideas that they do get right, which are I think a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
Totally.
Hey, Janet, speaking of getting ideas right, Persona 5 has been sticking around for a very long time, in part because of you on Twitch, twitch.tv/GameOnasis, where you've been streaming it for, I think you've been streaming this for longer than Persona 5 has been out. You've been streaming Persona 5 since Persona 3 released, I think.
I looked up, it's not 100% accurate because I streamed before uploading the VOD to YouTube, but from day one, from my first VOD upload on YouTube to yesterday, which is when I beat the game, that was a total of 615 days.
Jesus
in which I accrued
Christ.
198 7 hours of the game, because I only streamed it. So it's like sometimes I just stand in a room and just start like talking about what is going on that day. So that obviously added to the hour count. But yes, and I've beaten it. I set the goal of I want to beat it before my wedding weekend, which is this coming weekend at the time of recording. Today is my last day of content work, and I am finally ready to get married because I beat Persona 5 Royal.
That's truly a royal wedding on your horizon. And were you able to enjoy it, or was every stream just taken up with, boy, this is taking a long time?
There were definitely pockets of like, man, y'all, how much of this game is left? And they're like, it's a lot. And then you kept going and like months and months would pass. So it is a long game, a comically long game. How long to beat at like main plus sides, because I kind of feel like you automatically do sides. It's like an Atlas RPG. It's like 143. So while I have wild hours, the regular people hours are also very high.
Right.
Overall, I did enjoy my time with the game. It's so weird because like you just live with this thing for so long. Like it's like a new family member that I had in my life. But yeah, I enjoyed my time overall. I think it's a good game, probably realistically a great game. I think that there's a chance my kind of critical perception of it even might go higher as time goes on. I get to know the RPG and JRPG landscape more. But this was something that I, mainly did because one of my mods got it as like a charity incentive for me to do 2 streams, and I decided to pick it up and do a full Let's Play. But one of the reasons I did that was because everyone says it's a really great JRPG. And also I have been averse to playing any long games for a lot of my like adult gaming life. Like the first time I heard of a game being like 80 hours was the first time I said, I don't want to play that for like in terms of length. But that's also been kind of limiting, right? Because it means there's certain experiences that I kind of don't get to have because I say that's too long for me. So part of why I wanted to play this as well was to like, let's kind of knock out a lot of things at once. Let's see what it's like to play this really long game. Let's get to know more about the JRPG space. Like I also played, Like a Dragon, I think the year before. I've played for like American RPGs or Western RPGs, Starfield. And like, I'm just kind of starting to build out my knowledge of the space. And yeah, I found it like really valuable. Like it's been an incredibly valuable and informative experience. Just like playing this before Metaphor came out, which granted I still haven't finished Metaphor, but just knowing that system going into like that preview cycle, I'm like, I felt armed with a lot of knowledge from playing Persona 5 Royal. And in the last like 40 hours, which I did over the last 8-9 days of time, I was shocked to gain like more insight into the game. You would think he's 140 out. What's there left to see?
Totally.
Joker has the personas. There's other kids there. Like, what else is there? But as I like continue to like sit with the game and its story and the twists and reveals that occur, it didn't lower my opinion of Obscure Expedition 33. That's still like a very high up game for me. It's better than Persona 5 Royal to me by a large margin. It's my current game of the year. But it sort of demystified some aspects of like the narrative structure of that game. Again, I'm not going to spoil Claire. It's like a newer game, but there's like interesting things that happen in that story, and they're still interesting. But I sort of realized, that's kind of just how this genre is. Like, and I think back to like Yakuza and like other games I played. I'm like, this is kind of a genre that's just known for having like interesting, fun twists. And I don't think that makes the twist less meaningful or impactful, but it kind of made it feel less like, you know, there are times I think this happens to all of us. You play a game and you're like, wow, I've never seen anything like this before. That's so cool. It can still be cool, but when you see more stuff, you're like, actually, I've seen a lot of things like this before. And it's just kind of, you know, it felt very informative to have that experience and realize how much, like, when people say Claire is like feels JRPG inspired, I think a lot of people have said, well, what does that mean? And like having played Persona 5 Royal, I'm like, now I kind of see more what they mean by that. They mean like, you know, a party that, not that I felt like totally in love with the cast of Persona 5 are, but like a party that you get attached to, people you spend time with, twists that are affecting, characters that have arcs. It's like, I get what they mean. And it's kind of sad that like well, here's the thing. I'm sure there's plenty of good Western RPGs. I haven't played The Witcher in terms of stories, but I do feel like so many of like the RPGs, specifically JRPGs I've played, have like such an affecting story, but outside of like a narrative game. I think a lot of times when I get good narrative in games, it's from a narrative game. And it always really impresses me when there's like meat there for like outside of the narrative genre. And you know, Persona 5 Royal, I'm not like obsessed with the story, but it has definitely its moments that I did enjoy.
Yeah. The narrative genre, you mean like your Life is Strange's, your beloved games like that.
Yeah, I mean, games, or even like a game like Keep Driving. Like, it doesn't have to be like narrative choice based, but like usually when I'm getting hit with a narrative, it's like it's the mouth washing. So it's 1,000 times resist. And I'm not saying that good narrative doesn't exist outside of that, but I think it's a little bit more of a rarity. You know, games just don't tend to thrive in narrative. And it's one of the reasons why when you get like any narrative in games, people are like, it has a good story because there is a story. It's like, I don't necessarily agree with that. But so it's been interesting to kind of see how this genre approaches narrative and how different it is than a lot of other games. Even games that I really love and rank highly. Yeah.
Do you, would you put this above Metaphor?
No, but I have to beat Metaphor and I haven't beaten it. I think the long and the short of it is, the thing I like about Metaphor more than Persona 5 Royal is I think the mechanical systems are more dynamic in a way that I think makes the moment-to-moment gameplay far more interesting. I think Persona 5 does suffer from, this guy's weak to fire. Hit him with the fire. Well, only 2 people have fire. I'm waiting for the fire. I got debuffed. I'm waiting for like so many of the battles are just like so long, but without any dynamics. Like so much of the difficulty of Persona is a war of attrition. And I think stamina is one of the worst intriguing aspects of difficulty to me. It's part of why I think the difficulty of like Silksong versus Elden Ring works for me more. I mean, there's many reasons. One, it's more platform oriented, but the battles themselves are short. When you win, it's a couple minutes. Elden Ring, I feel like when you win, you're in that thing for like 90, and I lose the stamina. I can't do stamina. And also, I don't like doing stamina. I don't find it to be an engaging aspect to difficulty in games for me personally. So those are the reasons that and also, ain't gonna lie, Metaphor, cast of adults, no romance. Cast of kids who can romance adults. I'm confused. Also,
2 ways to go about
not
it.
to make a big thing about it, but the other, besides the fact that it's inherently kind of gross to have kids romancing adults in a video game, it's at odds with the narrative that they're telling, because the initial thing you do in that game is say, look at this evil adult preying on kids. And then like one month later, they're like, you can romance your teacher. It's narratively incongruous if you don't want to accept the it's gross reason, which you should. But if for some reason you don't want to accept it, it is narratively incongruous. So there are beefs like that I have with Persona 5 Royal. And there are things that R does better than Metaphor. I think Metaphor with Fantasia was an overcorrection to Atlas's dungeons. I think Atlas said, oh, you're lost in my interesting dungeons. Well, here, you're not lost anymore. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm a little bored walking through this hallway. And I hear they get more interesting as you go. But, so it's not like an end all. It's not like a cut and dry. Everything in Metaphor is better. But there's a lot of aspects of Metaphor that feel like, wow, you boosted on what I feel like Persona 5 Royal set up.
Yeah, for sure. Well, congratulations, Janet. You've truly done the impossible. Rolling credits on Persona 5.
Thank you.
I always
Thank
love
you for giving me a platform to talk about this, because where else am I going to speak about this old ass game?
It makes me laugh. Everyone does it, but it just makes me so laugh when like outlets and people, they have the stream and it's like, final stream? Am I going to beat the game in this stream? ? The answer is always no. The answer is every game takes longer than you think it's going to, but it always makes me laugh when I see the post.
Check
about
the tape. Mine called credits. That's when I hit credits.
Hey, very good. You did it.
I had help from chat. That's why I did it right. Okay. I was like, I'm beating it today, right? Okay, cool. And then I did it. But yeah, thank you. It feels honestly really good. I feel like I can do anything now.
Yeah.
There's something like a long goal. And I've been working on this for almost 2 years. So it feels really good to have finished it.
And every long game will feel short in comparison.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, I feel like Baldur's Gate 3, here I come. I'm coming for you, baby girl.
Yeah.
Hop, skip, and a jump. Hey, Jeff, have you ever gone to this website, dude?
What website's that?
What website? Yes. Rookie.
Uh-oh.
Dum-dum. The coolest website in town. Patreon.com/MinnMax with 2 N's.
Oh my God.
I don't know why that was sarcastic. You go there, you find the tier that's right for you, you unlock a benefit, you find something that's sustainable, and you can help keep this entire operation around. The podcast that you're listening to, that you're watching right now, is the tip of the iceberg, everybody. There's a ton more happening. Go there, unlock a benefit, and you should help thank some of our biggest supporters, people like I Am 8-Bit. They want everybody to know about their Blueprints collection, available at I Am 8-Bit's wonderful online store. They have a basement key replica. All you sickos with Blueprints, you can actually hold that basement key in your grubby little hands. You got keychains, notebooks, books, the game itself, physical version, all that cool stuff. And that's not all. There's a ton more stuff at I Am 8-Bit's wonderful online store. Go there and use the promo code Halloween for 10% off of everything throughout the month of October. And of course, you should help support I Am 8-Bit because they support the MinnMax community in a huge way by shipping out a prize each and every week to whoever has the best question submitted on Patreon. We choose our number one favorite and they get a prize. This week, of course, it's the Vampire Survivors double vinyl. Thanks to the good folks at I Am 8-Bit. Y'all ready to award this prize?
Yeah.
Y'all ready for star time? Brian W. writes in, they say, with that Xbox big price hike, my 20-year-long subscription has now ended. Your watch has ended, Brian. You can let it go. It's okay. They say, I'm a lifelong console gamer looking to fully embrace PC and Steam at this point. But how long can Steam be the perfect bastion of gaming that it currently is? What a wonderful question, Brian.
Are we calling it perfect, or we're saying it's like the best anyone could do as far as market share and gamer alliance?
They would say it's their
loyalty.
apoliticalness that's helping them thrive, as they have a lot of bad things on their forums. But I would disagree that that's what's helping them thrive. Yeah, I mean, I think it does feel like they're like untouchable in terms of like being like the key launcher, I think, for PC games. Obviously, you see one-offs from publishers being like, oh, we'll play on, our thing. But also everyone always hates that when it's only available on like not Steam. Because I think everyone's obsessed with the convenience of what you get from just the Steam library. I think especially with how popular the Steam Deck was pretty wild. I had no idea that it would be like as good as it was.
Yeah.
And it remains kind of like a juggernaut in that space. So.
I mean, in that space.
I fear it's unkillable.
Steam Deck has sold like 5 million copies, I think. Like it feels, I love it, my Steam Deck, but I don't think it's like, it's still kind of a niche thing.
Like Steam is not perfect. I think it's a lot better than it could be by this point in their life cycle. Like we haven't gotten the gentrification that's, everything else goes through. I think it'll keep staying that way as long as it keeps printing money for Valve.
Yeah,
is the answer. And like, I don't know how much When I read this question, I thought, like, how much does Gabe have to do with it? And just like, does he just not care? You know, like he's not trying to like maximize and wring every dollar that he can out of people. He's like making brain implants now or whatever, and living on a super yacht,
owning the yacht company. Yeah,
it's not publicly traded.
No, that's the thing. If it was publicly traded, if everyone on the market there, I feel like it would all shatter immediately. But just to have this unbelievable printing of money, and to not have people who are obsessively greedy. Naturally, he's a billionaire. He's doing just fine. I think a lot of people at Valve are doing just fine. But that idea of like, you know, there's not shareholders that are demanding this thing go higher and higher. But I think the culture's pretty entrenched at this point. But you got to wonder if Gabe ever steps away, what would happen to Valve and Steam? What does Steam look like 40 years from now? Like it's scary to think of for sure.
I'm just for the first time recognizing and being grateful that we don't have a Steam premium subscription available.
Right.
It's for purchase.
Yeah. Yep.
Just for occasional discounts on games and exclusive avatars and stuff. I feel like any other company just about would have one of those by now.
Yep. Somehow it lives on. But, you know, Gabe Newell is going to be dragged in front of Congress. We'll see how that goes. Maybe Congress will be the one that shatters Steam, you know?
They've had so much time to build their infrastructure. Steam is so not perfect. I still have so many problems with it, especially with remote play, and Steam Link was a disaster from start to finish every time I tried to use it. But there's nothing as good or better at all, and it's hard to imagine somebody coming out of nowhere with a better launcher that has all your Steam games too easily without it being a big transfer process, or even because Steam, you know, I don't know if it helps Steam to add a non-Steam game to Steam be kind of a pain. Like, it's not a huge pain, but it's enough to make you never really want to do it. It kind of keeps you localized to its ecosystem that way. It's very hard to imagine somebody coming in with the same thing but better at this point.
Yeah, I mean, you look at how many games Epic is trying to give away to get people in their ecosystem, and it still feels like just pulling teeth to try and get people over there. It's so fascinating. They're still going at it. Casual writes in to say, Dear MinnMaxers, what's your favorite example of Nintendo lunacy? Mine is when during a Smash Bros. Ultimate Direct, they suggested that the Switch could be used as a portable music player to enjoy its vast soundtrack.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I mean, that would be pretty sweet. You're definitely living a good life by doing that, but
it's not as good as using the Nintendo app on your phone.
I mean, you can do it. It's clearly the way to go, yeah. What do you all think is the good way to go?
My go-to for this is that the Wii shop channel had, and all the Wii channels, but especially the shop channel, had music that changed the culture, that was taken and remixed and reflipped and became a part of us in a way that still exists today. And then the Switch came out and the store's dead ass silent.
They said it's because there are videos, and so what do? Duck the music down every time a video pops up? That's
impossible.
It's impossible.
No one could figure that technology out.
Yep.
My favorite is still they made that goddamn mini NES.
Yeah.
That was printing money, and I couldn't even get one because it was so coveted. My wife went out and waited in line to try and get me one, and she failed and felt bad because she couldn't get one. And then they were just like, okay, we're never going to do that again. until we do an SNES one, which we're also only going to sell for a tiny amount of time, and then just never do it again.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, you got Nintendo Switch Online. It's just as good. Just pay the subscription. It'll matter just as much as having a physical object in your house that you can play games whenever you want.
On that same note, for modern stuff, 3D All-Stars limited time sale of it, and then we're like, hey, it's weird that this doesn't have Galaxy 2, and they're like, oh, maybe they couldn't do it, and then today they're like, hey, you can now buy Galaxy 1 and 2 as a bundle. And it's like, so do I have 3D All-Star? If you're doing physical, you'd have 3D All-Stars that didn't have Galaxy 2, and then 3D, and then the Galaxy bundle that has Galaxy 1, but I don't need another Galaxy 1. I only need Galaxy 2. It's dumb.
You can buy them separately. They're $40 a separate thing.
Physical? but physical.
Maybe not physical. Yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah.
okay.
That's where they get you.
I don't know.
Lunacy to me implies they don't know better though, and that they know exactly what they're doing with that.
Or they're
With
being
that
little
time
stinkers.
Sometimes I feel like they have a good idea, and then someone says it's too good of an idea. Can we make it a little annoying though? And then they say, "Yeah, I got you." And then that's how they go through That's how it feels like the process
Yeah,
for any
they
idea
go-
Nintendo goes through.
They go, wait, no, people like us already. It doesn't have to be this good.
Ooh, I have actually another one.
Please.
I've been wanting to air this grievance for a really long time. Nintendo Switch has a system now for Switch 2 called, is it Family Share? Because game share is when you share the game. I mean, like the way you can give a cartridge, virtual cartridge.
Wipe swap.
They have a system called virtual cartridge. Where they're like, do you miss your physical media? Watch an animation. Okay, I can live with that, whatever. And they're like, hey, you know how it's like you can't share games? Like with my PS5, I can have my fiance's account on my PS5 and we can share games really easily. You can do it with one other console really easily, and it's all good. We each have each other's games, and when he plays my games, he calls it J-Pass. He says, is this game coming to J-Pass? And that means that it's a game that I got for work that he can play. Switch, oh cool, they're having that. Now it cuts both ways, great. And this is actually how I played all of Slay the Spire so far. Because my fiance already had it. I said, great, share it with me. It auto goes back after 2 weeks. And it'll just be like, oh, yeah, you just boot the game up. Or you'll be in the middle of the game, which the only good thing about this is they like suspend it. So your game, you don't lose your progress. But I'll literally be in the middle of playing the game and it'll be like, bloop, your game went back to the thing. You have to resend it to get it back. And it makes me feel I've never felt broker or more like a child than when my Nintendo Switch 2 says,
yanks it out
hey,
while you're playing it.
This poor person's trying to play Slay the Spire too. And I have to imagine it's because they want to make it bad so that I have to do it. And I don't even mind I understand from like a borrowing standpoint that like, oh, well, maybe they don't want someone, I lent it to a friend and they kept it forever or something like that. But just make it so that the owner can recall it whenever they want, if that's the case. There's so many solutions. Why did you make it like this? Also, you have to be in person to do it. There's so many, like we figured this out already.
Yeah.
And then you seem like you were figuring it out in a different way that could still work. And then you made it inconvenient. And I want to know why. I want to know why.
It's a Nintendo-like solution, as they said back in 2015. Whenever there's something ambiguous, you go back to Iwata's quote about, we're fixing this in a very Nintendo-like solution.
Also,
Yes,
Nintendo
Leo.
Lunacy that just occurred to me.
Yeah.
In Donkey Kong Bonanza, buying an outfit, you get no option to equip it. You have to go into another menu through a loading screen, go into the changing room, and then change it there after you buy it.
Well,
Which-
obviously you have to change in a changing room, Leo. That just
Also, have
makes
we done
perfect
this?
sense.
Have we
Nintendo's
have we
ethics.
had a new show plus idea of like video game jail or whatever? Because I have a lot of things I want to bring games to trial on. Like I think that's one of them. Not being able to equip a thing as soon as you get it. I think the thing you mentioned, Leo, where it's like here's 1% of like you walk slightly faster. All of these things. It's time that we bring people.
We let
task.
people know what the consequences are. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not going to get away with it.
They
Yeah.
can't keep getting away with this. I yell about Walter White. You know.
Also, just a billion patents that you don't. Have
Well,
to
there's the patent
and
stuff,
that
yeah.
it just does like you don't have to do it. You it's another company that just prints money, and they are the opposite of Valve in like they're just like the pettiest, cheapest. Like we're gonna go after little kids with their NES ROMs because
Honestly,
otherwise,
put the
what
Grants
happens?
beat over
We
this whole
make less
segment.
money. They don't make less
We
money.
can go for a while.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I was tempted to be like, oh, Labo. That's some fun lunacy in there. There's plenty of oddball things in there.
Positive Lunacy.
Positive lunacy, yeah. But then it's like the behind the scenes stuff is also very fun. And there's probably too many of these to even remember. But just like, remember their embargoes for like showing gameplay, Leo? For it's like, you want to show the new Kirby Star Allies for new gameplay today, Game Informer? You can show 3 minutes of continuous game. Was it 5 minutes? And then there used to be a cut.
Yeah.
So it's like you just to make some abstract cut of like now we're jumping ahead to the next level because you can't show more than 5 continuous gameplay. Like it was legalese. I was trying to figure out how many sequential minutes can I show and when. Just the amount of wording that they had to send over for that stuff was absurd.
Yeah, Mario Party was
can I-
15 minutes edited, 1 hour stream, and us like trying to do exactly that for all this stuff
Right.
as much as possible.
Can I end the segment by taking it too far?
Yeah.
we got too many directs for this Kirby Air Riders game.
Oh, okay.
No one
now
wants
you're
to say
attacking
it 'cause
Sakurai.
everyone loves Sakurai.
Sakurai's an independent operation. You can't operate in
honey,
Nintendo for this goal.
Sakurai's not going to pick you, okay? You don't have to kiss his ass so much. He's not going to
Someday,
pick you. It's never gonna be you.
someday.
It was never going to be you. It would have been you if it would have been you. We got too many. We got like 9 Kirby Air Riders directs.
Them
going for this
making
thing.
Air Riders at all is good lunacy.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And I'd argue making multiple directs for this
Ben, what do
game.
you think of the Kirby Air Riders game, by the way?
Oh, it's trash. I don't want to play it. But
Okay,
I do.
see, and when
There's
y'all
always
like,
that.
Sometimes
There's
I
always
go
that.
back and I listen to the show sometimes, and I feel like a fan, and it's fun. And like, shout out to y'all for doing the work you do. And I'll be listening, and I'm like, Ben's lying out. Well, you're like, it's great that this thing exists. It's like so nice. I'm happy for everybody. The aesthetic, who doesn't like Kirby? And I'm like, this is a lot of words for I think this game is ass.
Yeah.
Which even the people that like Kirby Air Riders agree that that game is like very mechanically lacking. And I will say the new one, it sounds from what I've been hearing from the previews, it's got more mechanics going on under the hood. It seems like a better game. I'm not saying it's going to be a bad game or that it is a bad game. I just think we got like 9 directs for this game that, come on now.
I mean, we haven't even seen the second
now.
one yet. We can't complain about it. And to be fair, I had a fine time
What
with
could
the
they
original.
show you that would justify it?
Hey, prove
I
it.
would like to
Prove
know.
it. It's up to them, you know. But if it's just Sakurai, just
He'll keep watching until they
reading
prove it.
poetry. I'll watch Sakurai do any of that stuff. But I had a fine time with Kirby Raiders 1 back in the day, and I do think that like nothing has me over the moon about Air Riders, but except for the starting gate of 3, 2, 1, go! Like that animation and just that UI, like that was like, ooh, okay. I like it. It's got a good feeling to it. So maybe that feel of racing with that charging out of the gate, maybe it'll be my racing game of the year, Janet.
You're so sweet.
Thank you.
Say it again, I'll believe you.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it
You go to
again.
the next question.
Yeah. Caffeine Dad writes in. They say, hey, y'all, it's October, so we have to start talking about some scary movies. What's the scariest movie from your childhood?
Amityville Horror.
It's
I don't
been-
know how scary it actually is because I only watched it once as a kid, but I thought it was horrifying.
And the remake, I presume? 'Cause there wasn't...
I think it would have to be. Like, I watched it when I was, I don't know. I think I was in elementary school when I watched it.
So 2005
slightly
was the
older?
remake of Amityville
Yeah, it was
Horror
probably
House.
like, I don't think I watched it like the day it came out or anything. I watched it like, at home. But yeah, I feel like I was like in middle school, which
Right.
that tracks kind of thing.
Yeah, that's good. Do you remember, did you see all of it? You just saw like certain scenes that terrified
I
you?
saw all of it. We watched it because like we already knew I was scared. My brother's also a scaredy cat. He's 6 years older than me. And we watched it like in the daytime, like blind slightly cracked. So there's some sun coming in, could barely even see the scenes. I just remember it being scary. The only detail I remember is like the very last shot of the movie. Like if you said, I'll give you $1,000 to tell me what this movie is about.
Right.
I would be like, can you just give me the $1,000 anyway? It doesn't seem like it matters to you. Because I don't know. But I was really scared at the time.
I revisited my video recently about kids being obsessed with horror, where I kind of walked through my history of horror movies as a kid.
Yeah.
Poltergeist was definitely the one that messed me up the most.
Oh, yeah.
But also,
It's a bad one to watch as a kid.
yeah, I mean, a classic, of course, from the time when movies were either G or PG, but you didn't know that old movies were different that way. So Poltergeist seems PG and that seems fine. And then it's like the guy's flesh is literally falling off the sink. That scene specifically, obviously. I was the other one, Scary Movie 2, for some reason, bodied me at 13, 14 years old. The opening to Scary Movie 2, I had to excuse myself and call my dad to pick me up from the sleepover. I was so scared. And I was glad because I revisited that video where I talk about it, and somebody in the comments was like, that freaked me out too. And it's the dumbest, like, he's having diarrhea on the toilet while flies are attacking him. It's like the Exorcist parody. It's so not even close to being scary at all, but the idea that somebody else connected on that
Right.
meant a lot to me.
I thought it was going to be the trimming the bush scene. I thought this is just horror incarnate.
Is that after the first 5 minutes? Because I haven't seen
I
it.
think so. I think that's Scary Movie too. Yeah, it's tough to be like, logical or illogical if it needs to be the dividing line. Because like as a wee kid, it was like I love Fantasia, but then every time you got to that Witch Mountain sequence at the end, this is the scariest thing I've ever seen. Just Satan coming up out of a mountain, and a bunch of topless witches screaming and flying at the screen and stuff. Like that's like, from really early on, just being like, I need to stop this VHS right now because this is the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life.
And you know what else? The page master getting sucked up in the paint goop in the library.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was some scary kid stuff.
Ooh, Ghostbusters 1 and 2 is a big one, I think, for the wee early years. Like, it's natural to be scared of pink slime because I watched a lot of Ghostbusters 2 as a kid. But I think it was like, I guess I would have been 12 when Blair Witch came out, which is like, I think that's the right age for just like getting rocked. And so that was the first one where I'm like, this is the scariest thing I've ever seen, and I think I can back it up. I think this movie is actually evil based on how
I watched that
scared
for
I
the first
am.
time like only like 2 years ago, and I like loved it.
Yeah, it's cool. The acting is so
scary.
good. Like it was convincing back then, fully, you know? Oh God, it just destroyed me because yeah, Scary Things in the Woods is my kryptonite for sure.
What about when
I s-
Bilbo turns into a goblin for 3 frames in Fellowship of the
I
Ring?
loved it. I was like, get this
Yeah.
guy in more movies.
Give him his own trilogy. That was scary though, huh?
Yeah, no.
I saw Toxic Avenger as a kid, and that was terrible. It's especially terrible because it was a trauma movie, and their movies were so low budget that they kind of just feel like you're watching a snuff film to begin with, and it was super gory and it was very scary. He put an old lady in a big washing machine. She died in the washing machine.
No!
Or like a washer, a big clothes laundromat washer.
Of course.
And it just got worse from there. My brother made us watch it,
Oh,
and it was not fun.
I'm sorry.
Bad older brother.
Yucko. Oh My Blob writes in and they say, I'm playing Ghost of Yote this week and it's been amazing. Feels like Tsushima on steroids. And Atsu immediately feels like a more engaging character than Jin Sakai. It got me thinking, if there's any indispensable main character left in gaming, even Mario games don't need Mario as the main character anymore. That's a confident statement on my blog. I want to unpack this. So this asks, is there any existing franchise that would not survive without its main character?
What's with this Mario thing? Or do we start with that? Are we going to swing it at the end? Or?
I mean, are we talking like Super Luigi U? Is that what's proving that you technically don't need
which
Mario
we all
in
know
there?
when we think good Mario game, we're going to name Super Luigi U.
I mean, okay,
it's time
but
to
look,
grow up.
well,
No
I
one
mean,
likes that game.
You think of like a Mario 2 or Mario 3D world, like you could play through the entire game as Peach and have a great time. Like technically if Mario's not on that roster, I don't think it's doing that much damage to it.
I guess on a very technical level, you're right, but I feel like being technically right is the worst kind of right you could be. Where it's like if they just took Mario out of the franchise completely, I think that'd be like franchise like suicide a little bit. It would just be weird.
I'm trying to think. I mean,
Because technically you could model anybody to be Mario. You know what I mean? Like, so I guess on a technical level that's true, but he's Mario. It's a me. It's
It
me,
would survive,
Dave?
though.
That doesn't make any sense.
I think
It's
it would
a
survive.
him, Mario.
Yeah, come on. Like you need to have that. I mean, can you just have? I was going to say Princess Peach on the box, but I guess other than Showtime, but like Luigi
You
in a
can if you make her
platformer.
game good, because it's like,
Right.
Yeah, it
It's
would
not-
just have to be a Mario game,
yeah.
but with Peach.
I would be looking for some type of like mechanical layer. Like I think with the 3D world comparison, like Peach moves and feels differently than Mario does. So like I think if they made like Mario Odyssey 2, and it's like actually it's not Mario though, it's this guy Dave, but the game still rips, I'd be like, this is cool, but it's weird that this isn't a Mario game, because I would be expecting some type of mechanical differentiation if it wasn't Mario.
Hang on. So just to be clear, for the record, you're saying that if they
Yeah.
release Super Mario Odyssey 2 and it starred
Yeah.
a guy named Dave, you would
Yeah.
say this is weird?
Yeah. And I know that people think that's crazy for some reason.
Okay.
but I
Okay.
would
No,
think
that's
weird.
fair. That's fair, I guess.
Unless Dave hasn't done a really unique mechanical thing where it's like, oh, well, it's not a Mario game. It's, like how there's plenty of Nintendo games that are platformers, but they have different feels to them.
Yeah.
It's so strange though, because I feel like Mario's might be the only. I'm probably being naive about this. Some people are gonna write in with very obvious answers, but it feels like Mario's the only one where it's even a question, where it possibly wouldn't survive if you switch out Mario. I don't think the main character is tied to nearly any major franchise. Even like Halo, they freaking got Halo Reach
Yeah.
going, everyone's
Like
favorite.
Last of Us
without
had
messing-
Ellie instead of Joel, like for, and you
Yeah, and
know.
if Last of Us Part 3 was all new characters, people would be psyched on that.
I think so.
Hitman, I don't
Yeah.
care if it's 47. Honestly,
I got a couple
sorry.
contenders. Sonic the Hedgehog. Is he almost
like as in like people don't care kind of thing? Like
No,
you
as
swap
in-
them out?
Yeah,
As in-
you're picking franchise that's on death's door anyway.
I
So
guess.
it's,
Well, the thing
it's a
is,
low bar.
Sonic.
Yeah, right.
Sonic's appeal is that like it's Sonic, and that Sonic is kind of cool.
Right, but I guess it's
true.
the Mario thing. Like if it was, God forbid, some game called Sonic 3 and Knuckles, like would people be bummed out if you're just playing as some character other than Sonic? I mean, there's enough swappability.
I don't think you could continue Sonic though, and not have Sonic come back because he's Sonic.
I mean, Leafeon reminds us that Sonic Forces, you could create your custom character in that game. Remember that game where it was
But it's like a one-off thing though. Yeah,
That's
your
a
own
one-off
persona
thing.
kind of.
Do well.
But they called it something different. They're like, it's not persona. It's like Sonic character.
But remember the one where it's like the militant rebellion Sonic? It's like the entire. It was an interesting tone to it if you remember Sonic Force as well, which we all do in our heart of hearts, I know. Okay, here's
Good suggestions. Ray Ramirez is Spider-Man, the character, but also Miles Morales for example.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, done.
Well, I
lot of
forget,
people
just to
prefer-
go back to the question, is the question who like could we swap or who can't we swap? Like who's
Is there any
I forgot what
existing
they-
franchise that would not survive without its main character?
Would not
now,
survive, okay.
now here's, I think, another one that's close. I think Kratos and God of War is a contender here. I think when you think like character being locked into that franchise, if they're releasing a new God of War and it's Atreus, God of Mischief, or even if they still call it God of War, I don't think people are going to stick with it. I think Kratos is that iconic. You gotta have
I think
him.
it would
I think
work.
people
but you gotta
complain
go
for
back
sure,
to
but survive?
Kratos.
Survive. I mean, what? One person will buy a copy, Leo?
Well, I think the question is in that example, right, Ben? Like they make it's new God of War, it's Atreus. Cool. The next one, is that also not Kratos? Because I think that's kind of where
I
if
think
that's
that's
also
what
not
they're going.
Kratos, then I would agree. I think God of War needs Kratos, or Kratos, like it can live off like one kind of that isn't like that, but I don't think it can keep going. Like unlike The Last of Us, where I do think if you had Last of Us 3 and it's like people you've never seen, it's Dave. It's like, oh yeah, we're rocking with Dave
From the Mario
'cause
game?
Dave's rocking with us. Yeah, he's booked and busy. He's the next Troy Baker. People were saying.
But if it wasn't Kratos, and they just came up with another Kratos kind of character,
Dave?
who's like, well, now I'm going to avenge Kratos. I'm Ares or whatever. Like,
Or what's his brother name?
pick another big buff dude.
See,
who-
Sony
who,
Santa
like,
Monica, this is easy. We're doing it right now.
Yeah, Deimos from his brother from the PSP games. If it's just Deimos
Sure.
ready to go.
Done.
You think it's fine? Yeah, maybe you're right.
It's fine.
Maybe you're right. It's fine.
They'll-
We love
they'll-
Deimos. I have a Deimos tattoo.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting
know.
question because I wouldn't have thought of it, but it's
Yeah.
a lot of these franchises are not about the main guy.
Yeah.
Ari writes in, they say, hey, MinnMax, this past week, I was talking with my buddy about Silksong. He couldn't believe that this huge game cost $20. Wasn't it 30? Maybe they're in a different region.
It's 20.
Was it 20? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, right?
It made him feel like it was punk rock, that they're sticking it to the man or to the AAA games with their $80 price tag. Made me think the original Doom, also made by a small team, turned the industry upside down. Eventually, they even released their source code to the public for free. Are there any other moments in gaming or media that gave you the punk rock / sticking it to the man feeling? I love this question.
It's a little, it's like how sticking to the man can be if it's still like a corporation inherently like buying advertisement space. But I'm trying to forget, I can't remember the name of the studio. One of y'all will have to pull it for me. But that studio that posted about like all the layoffs that happened like 2 years ago outside of the JW during like the Game Awards or SGF.
Oh, yeah.
I forget the name of the studio that did that. I'm trying to find, if anyone in chat can find it, I'll, bring it back in once I find that. But I thought, again, still just like a publisher or developer like buying, a ad space placement, but using it for, I think, as a like checking, it's an event where a lot of people in power who like make those decisions are there, seeing it. It kind of had that conversation going. That's the first thing that I thought of with this question.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one. Yeah, the best I can think of, and maybe it's odd to call it sticking it to the man too much, but there's this 34-part documentary series called Psych Odyssey with a unbelievably candid look at game development that is not pretty for most of it, and gets into some real thorny, honest issues. And if you recall, it was just dropped all at once for free on YouTube and also dropped at the same time in bulk on Internet Archive. which I think is a pretty badass way to launch something from technically within a corporation of just like, it's all out there, you can't take it back. Okay, goodbye. Like that was pretty sweet.
Physical pressing of that is cool too. I got to get back to that. I was watching it pretty regularly for a while and then I just kind of fell off.
Yeah,
but it was really picking up where I left off, so I'm excited to go back to it. New Blood was the name of the.
That's
I
right.
got to see if they're a publisher.
Yeah, they make a bunch of throwback shooters.
I think they're a publisher, right? Yeah, and they had Gone But Not Forgotten, Arcane Austin, Roll 7, Tango Gameworks, Volition Inc., sorry. Yeah. London Studio, and everyone laid off, downsized, and, quote, made redundant. Thank you for great games from your friends at New Blood.
That's right. That's a good reminder. B Wood writes in. Also, hey, shout out to OBS being free. I think about that every once in a while. It's like, what an amazing gift that this software that's allows us to run everything and so many other outlets to run so much. It's like, I never paid a cent for it. It's great.
We tried to find like paid versions of things that were better at Game Informer than OBS, like trying to upgrade our setup. And I don't think we did.
Yeah. Well, we had the different software for a while, but
B-Wood, we're back to OBS.
That's it. B-Wood writes in this, they've been discussing Team Cherry last week. Jason Schreier kind of touched on something I've been thinking about. Do we as fans pay too much attention to game sales? How does it benefit us to care so much about how well or how poorly a game is sold? I mean, for like the review, I don't think you need to care that much, but just as speaking for myself, as fans of the industry, I think it's really helpful to get a sense of like what's hitting, what's not, what does this mean for where things might go? Is this team going to get another crack at this? What are they working on before?
You have to know if they're going to exist in another year.
Right, it's helpful.
And, is this a safe space?
Yeah.
I don't care about the sales numbers because I can't wrap my head around what any of the numbers actually mean. And I'm willing to admit that. It's like, they're like, it sold this. I'm like, is that good? Is that bad? Is that expected? Like, I don't know. And I know I could like work on like building that gap for me, but that's why I don't really care about sales numbers because with a sales number touted at me without any context means nothing. You might as well say they sold flim flam amount of copies. And oh my God, I hope it gets to flim flam because who knows what will happen. I'm like, I don't know what that means.
Yeah, especially in the AAA space, like it literally means nothing. Like the Tomb Raider franchise.
The classic,
Yes, where it was like best-selling one ever, huge disappointment. You know, it's like, okay, I guess, well, what are we doing? Hi-Fi Rush exceeded all of our expectations sales-wise. Also, have fun on your new journey or whatever.
We're killing the studio.
Yeah. I think I want to know what number of sales means success for a game when they made their money back and then some. Like, but I don't feel like I do. I don't think I do ever learn that. It's so different for every single game. But it is more often just something like Clair Obscur where it's selling tens of millions. And the value that serves is it's so exciting that a new IP out of nowhere is doing this. Yeah. And that is exciting for the future of the industry to see certain breakout hits and to know from that like, oh, that's going to have an impact. We're going to see this as a trend now going forward from this, something like Balatro or whatever those surprise hits are.
Yeah, it's heartwarming when it's an indie game as well. And you know it's like, well, 2 people made this and they sold 500,000 copies. Like, that's good for them. You know, like we know at least that much and it feels good.
Yeah, it's like this dude from your hometown won the lottery. It's like that type of news story exactly, where it's, oh, I'm happy for this person. I know it was hard to do this and it took a lot of luck and good for them.
Yeah, I think it was on the...
And I feel like compared to like the movie industry and stuff, it's, you know, you hear all those numbers as well. And I don't feel like video games are super sales obsessed in terms of coverage compared to other comparable entertainment properties.
Yeah, I think we just know less about what things cost too. There's like less known. Right. So I feel like that's why we maybe get a lot of things that are a little bit like uncontextualized when we have these conversations. But
also,
I don't know. I guess I gotta look at more analyst content to like start to put those things together. Cause I never know what, like, if you just give me a number, I'm like, like it's Tuesday. I'm like, yep, I guess. I don't know.
But you're right. It is helpful when you get those stories of like, we have officially made our money back. That always is a nice little beat when developers post that. But like I was listening to, I think it was on the Game Business podcast, but they're talking about like how back in the 90s, there was so much more data available. Like all of the publishers They wouldn't just say like, this game has sold this many copies, but they'd actually have their projections as public information for shareholders and stuff. Like, hey, we're releasing a new Capcom game in 2002. We are projecting this to sell 450,000 copies. And then 2 years later, we'll update you and tell you exactly how many it actually sold. So like that helps to get some sense of like where they're putting their bets and stuff. But we forgot to talk about it last week, but another big ramification of EA going private and being bought out by the firms in Saudi Arabia there is no more sales data, right? Like when that goes through, they're just going to be a black box now all of a sudden. So super frustrating.
EA black box.
That's it. Black box former EA studio. That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
When on episode of Replay, Game Informer, we did a replay of Battlefield Bad Company. And I said, I can't believe EA named a game after themselves. And I've been kind of coasting off that since then.
Write that down for the Thanksgiving joke-a-thon, please. We won't call you out for repeating your good stuff. LT Frank Drebin writes in, hey, that's my name too. Has Eternal Strands been forgotten, or do you think it'll be brought up during the 210s?
Yes, it's been forgotten.
It will be brought up for sure, but it
also,
definitely feels like it's been forgotten now.
To be honest, like I was really hot on it when I first started it. I'm like, this is a vibe. It's not like amazing, but I'm having a good time. Then I played it again and I said, actually, this game might just be like kind of mediocre and I don't need to play it anymore.
It ceased to be a vibe.
And I haven't thought about it. Yeah, the vibes were depleted when I went back into that world.
I liked it a lot throughout, but I'd never beat it.
Jeff, did you beat Eternal Strands?
I have not. I still have it installed. It's made it this long. It's made it a long time.
You better roll credits,
like 10
buddy.
gigabytes, so it doesn't really matter.
What else is installed though?
Yeah.
Because you say that like it means something, but does it?
In my life,
see what's going on with that hard drive. It might not mean anything.
There's been a lot of turnover on the PS5, Janet. Absolutely.
Okay.
And I did just have to. I erased Baldur's Gate 3 for Battlefield 6.
Wow.
Good choice, my liege.
Wait, can that also be a new show plus? Like we look through our hard drives and we're like, why is this still in here? We're not going to play this.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, the games that also you just will never delete, No.
Yeah.
Let's see. Mighty Ethan writes in say, I just wanted to write in with a Better Quest update. Last year, I wrote in to set myself a goal of learning Japanese, and just last week, I hit a 1-year streak of practicing every day. Way to go, Ethan.
Nice.
I'm still nowhere near my goal of being able to play games fully in Japanese, but I've been playing everything I can with Japanese audio, and I'm definitely able to pick out more and more words and phrases as I go. I'll write back when I hit my 2-year streak. Hell yeah. Way to go, Mighty Ethan. Write in, please.
That's awesome. Silent Hill F, being able to understand the Japanese voices, that'd be sick.
Especially like the scary monster sounds. Like, what are they saying? What does that moaning mean?
Creepy murmuring.
Sign writes in, they say, Ben Hansen, hello. I went from a casual AFI fan to having them be one of my favorite bands because of your and Jeff Cork's podcast years back called A Fire Inside Out. I never would have dived that deep into the band's older stuff without the podcast. You know the question. When's the new A Fire Inside Out podcast coming now that the new album is out? This weekend. So we're recording it on Thursday, and I think I'll probably drop it on Sunday, where, if you didn't know, Jeff Cork and I have a podcast where we break down every album from the band AFI and beyond that. But we're going to get together in the studio and review the new album and just have a blast,
A bit of MinnMax history. That's what the channel used to be.
Those are the first videos that because you had to I forget what it was. I needed to seed the channel with some content, I think, to get the URL locked in. And so I just put all of our old podcasts on there. So if you go back in the history, it's a bunch of old AFI and Twilight Zone stuff. The good stuff.
Base layer. Everything else built on top.
That's right. Joey Smith says, hey, I've been playing Blippo Plus based on last week's discussion, and I'm loving it. It has me reminiscing about the experience of flipping through channels as a kid, especially away from home. What was the strangest thing you ever came across randomly on TV back when TV was a thing people watched? For me, it was an hours-long, dialogue-free marathon of animated shorts about a fly I saw in a hotel on a road trip in Canada. My child brain was mesmerized. I have since learned the show was called Fly Tales, and it holds up. Fantastic.
Oh, I have no idea what it was called. This was the only time I flipped through TV like that is when I'm in a hotel, which is like one of my favorite things to do in a hotel. Super fun.
Yes.
When I was in the hotel that we had for Gamescom, I'm pretty sure there was a channel that was just it was in German, so I didn't know what they were saying, but they were just showcasing like a spot for like a really nice scenic walk, and they were just walking through the environment.
Perfect.
Like,
Not to be
Google
confused
Plus.
with the longest walk, which is our own whatever that walk thing we have for New Show Plus, legally distinct from that.
Walking
Or
simulator.
Bushwalker on
Sim in
Blippo
real
Plus.
life.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, it is the exact same thing. Totally.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that was kind of cool.
I was a teenager and I saw a documentary on the Learning Channel back when they actually had learning content, and it wasn't just all house shows. And it was a documentary about like the biology of sex.
Oh no.
And in it they showed video of two people doing it.
Oh.
But they put a camera on the man's penis and you saw it from the inside.
No
and they just put this on
way.
normal basic
no
television.
universe that happened.
It did, and he climaxed.
Oh,
And you could see
okay,
it.
Jeff. Stop it.
It was insane.
Stop. You're talking.
And
You're talking about the opening of like Look Who's Talking or something. You're confused. There's no way.
well, the sperm were talking. So is that? Am I confused?
Okay, what kind of camcorder from 1988 are they strapping to some guy's junk and he's
Okay, it wasn't 1988, but yeah, it was. I mean, it was not good.
I might
didn't-
have seen this exact same thing, but it was in Catholic school at the boys' retreat, where they explained what sex is and how we shouldn't do it under any circumstances.
that video would do it. That will keep you safe.
Yeah,
for a couple of years,
I distinctly remember the whole class of boys going, "Oh!" Like the giant reaction.
that is
Yeah, and they were talking sperm facts. And
Spitting 'em?
showing sperm. They were like, there's different types of sperm. There's like attacking sperm and blocking sperm, and they like can tell other
one got you into roguelikes.
sperm from other human beings, like other men. They can tell the different kinds of sperm, and they showed the sperms warring, which was really just they kind of bump and then one just stops moving. It was like the most insane information that I've never seen anywhere else.
boring sperm? Don't
Yes.
they die after like 3 minutes? So what situation are you envisioning?
They can be in there for days, Hanson. You got to be careful. You should use protection.
Is that right?
Yes.
Not right now, Jack.
If this is your first episode of the MinnMax show, I promise it's not usually like this. Like, please come back or just skip the questions. I don't know. Whatever you need
Basic
to do.
cable was wild back in the
Good
days.
Lord.
And here I thought PB
all the
Bang was
name
the
of
raunchiest
education.
MinnMax podcast I was on, and this was like, I was just sitting here like, I've never thought he would just say sperm this many times.
It never ends. Join the Backstage Pass tier. His pre-show is mainly sperm facts.
Yeah. They put
pre-show.
the
Yeah.
chat hashtag sperm facts, which is really funny.
I mean, mine is night and day. Let's turn the leaf and get to some fresh, clean content. Mine is totally being in a hotel, especially in another country, is like primo. Flip to the channels, like, what is this? What am I seeing? And the first time that I saw over in England that they have a show called Sex Box, I was like, what is this? Where they have a show that was just on the BBC, and it's like a game show, like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. They have like a stage set up. Then they just have a big black box in the middle of it, and a couple goes in there and has sex. But then the part that's so kind of beautiful and surprising is it's not graphic. You don't see anything. They just come out after a little bit and the crowd lightly applauds. And then they sit down and then there's a host that just like talks to them about sexuality. Just basically like, hey, how'd it go? How'd you feel? What's working? What's not? And it's just like this frank conversation about sex that feels like it's antithetical to everything in American culture. But it's like, oh yeah, that probably would be helpful just to have an open, honest conversation in front of millions of people in a live audience.
No, I like the way we do it. I think we just talk about it less and less until we totally iron it out of completely.
Okay, all right. I guess to each their own, yeah.
Sex box in this economy? Come on.
Who needs Factor delivered to your doorstep? So South said Abbott, they read in, they say, hello, MinnMax crew. No question this week. And to be clear, normally I wouldn't do this because it's too ass-kissy and gross, but it's Janet's big week with the wedding coming up. They say, no question this week. I just wanted to drop off some Garcia Glaze. The last time Janet was on the podcast, she had a few quotes that I feel like went underappreciated. Lines such as, quote, if you could squeeze the juice fast enough, it's a great drink, when talking about the ending to Blueprints. And quote, if you played what I played for 8 hours, you might also have some criticisms of this game when talking about Silksong.
Still stand by that. I had a really bad first 8 hours. I got really unlucky.
Okay. And then finally, quote, that's like saying you got to incentivize jumping in Mario. Baby, that's the game. I don't know who let her cook, but she's serving up dishes Studio Ghibli couldn't animate. That's what Southside Abbott says.
Okay, thank you.
Congratulations.
Very kind.
Nice.
By the way, Silksong, thumbs up, thumbs down. Where's your heat right now for that game?
Ooh, well, short answer, definitely thumbs up. Long answer, like, I definitely think I got plagued with some bad opening hours where it's like everything bad that could have happened to me. Not just the Hunter's Marsh, but I got burned in a very unique way where there's a character that will come help you in an arena fight in the Hunter's Marsh. But if you trigger something and then go back later, that character is gone. And that to this day is the hardest fight that I've had to do in Silksong, that arena specifically. I also didn't get crests for a really long time. So I couldn't change like my dash or have different like equipment options that can also really affect the game. So I just kind of like got a little bit unlucky. And I think that cuts both ways in Silksong, where it's cool that there's so much dynamics on people's stories in a way that feels almost like when we played Breath of the Wild and everyone was like, oh, I did this, I did that. It has a layer of that, but the con is that less paths are authored and you can thus kind of screw yourself over on certain things. But going good so far, really enjoying it. Great Metroidvania structure. Hard, but not like too hard in the moment to moment. I still stand by, though. I think the runbacks are ass. I think they make the game worse. I don't like them, but I'm putting up with them so that I can keep on playing and exploring and checking things out. So I plan to beat the game unless I just literally am incapable. But so far, I'm doing okay. I hit Act 2.
Sweet.
That's where I'm at.
Love it. Jeff, what do you like for question of the week? Hot shot.
The one that we talked about a really long time.
It's a trick. He's a no.
Definitely the one where the conversation was the most
Mario.
varied and we each brought a lot to the table.
The Mario one.
I agree with Leo. I think there's some good things are saying.
The main character, Oh My Blobs.
Main
Yeah, the main character,
Yeah.
swappability. I do
Dave?
think that was a good thinker.
Yeah.
I think it was a good thinker.
I'm looking forward to reading the comments on that one too, if the other ones people think of.
Yeah. You feel good about it?
Great.
There we go. Oh My Blob. Congratulations. You just won the Vampire Survivors vinyl thanks to I'm 8-Bit. And now, of course, it's something that we like to call Get a Load of This. Hey, get a load of this. This is a fact that we all have learned. But, you know, when you have a kid, you relearn things and it blows your mind again. That's kind of the beauty of the whole thing. Leo Vader, you know blood vessels in your body?
I know of them.
Yeah, if you take them out and line them up, how far would they stretch?
10 times the length of the moon.
10 times the length of the moon? That might be actually pretty close. It's 60,000 miles of blood vessels in one human body. One body, 60,000
I
miles.
don't like
That's
that fact.
circling the Earth 2.5 times. Isn't that absurd?
Your
That's
fact is
cool.
scary. So how did this come up? Did your kid ask how long are my blood vessels? Because
Yeah.
kids be asking like anything.
He's 2.5, and every morning he wakes up and says, "Tell me more blood vessel facts." And I was like, "All right."
I'm worried mine aren't long enough.
I'm getting dunked on at school.
I want to see that kill animation in Battlefield, where all the blood vessels just shoot out of a guy and go around the world.
Yeah, or like that's good Mortal Kombat stuff where they pull out one blood vessel at a time,
yeah.
like tiki 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 tiki,
Yeah.
tiki, and then it's just like a clown scarf. That'd be pretty sweet. Anyways, somebody else stop it, please.
Get a load of this. This is a random article. A Minnesota park has won the best bathroom in the U.S. for 2025.
Not after Leo used it.
It's a shut up, man! Don't ruin this for me.
Okay.
It's
That was solid.
It's a state park bathroom in Bear Head Lake, and when you see the pictures of it, you're gonna look at it and say, "Yeah, that looks like a bathroom."
Oh,
All right, links below if you want.
I don't know
blown.
what's so special about this bathroom, but
All right, cool.
it's apparently the best one
I feel like this is the most chaotic
in America.
get a load of this ever. So I'm gonna also go with mine, which is also like what's going on here? Mine's get a load of this. There's a nail like salon in LA. This is LA specific. It's called Click the Nail Spot, and they have like a window where you can walk up and get like press-ons, almost like a drive-through, but it's like a walk up,
you
and
have
they
to
do it like
keep
just like super
moving?
fast. No, you don't have to keep moving. But yeah, you do. It's just, I just thought it was kind of like a cool, like unique, weird, kitschy thing. So yeah, I got a kick out of that. So
Funky.
that's my share.
That's cool.
That's cool. Get a load of this. This was news to me. Article on The Guardian. Lord of the Rings orc was modeled after Harvey Weinstein.
Oh,
Elijah
yeah.
Wood reveals. Famously, Harvey Weinstein, of course, horrific sexual predator. Before the news of that was out, he was trying to make Lord of the Rings smaller than it ended up being. He wanted him to make one movie out of all 3 books, and it was kind of a FU from Peter Jackson to make this orc. You'll see it. You'll recognize it from those movies, and you'll think of Harvey Weinstein. You'll go, "Oh, it is." That is plain to see that they based it off of him.
I love that when they sneak that stuff in. Even like, not quite as damning as Harvey Weinstein, but like the character designers for Incredibles, they made Syndrome look like Brad Bird, the director. And it wasn't until like halfway through production that Brad Bird's like, wait a minute, that's me? That sniveling evil guy? So yeah, no, that's what we're going for. Hey, get a load of this from the Discord channel for MinnMax. If you support us at any tier, in the $12 tier, you get access to the channel. And there's a get a load of this channel where they share fun facts all day, every day. And Catherine shared this fun story from Video Games Chronicle about Pico Park, the game with like 10-player co-op. That's the cool little thing. So the original Pico Park, there's Pico Park 2, but the original game, they did like an update for it. And so they temporarily made it free on Steam. But then the developers found out that you can apparently only make a game free and then make it charge it for money so many times. And so when they flipped it to free, they're not able to actually flip it back. So now Pico Park 1 is like accidentally free forever. And you can just go get it on Steam. It's a cool game if you're going to check it out.
Steam, #1 platform.
That's it. There we go, everybody. That's it for this episode of the MinnMax Show. Thanks so much, everybody, for watching, sharing, all that fun stuff. We have a ton of stuff going on here. Silent Hill F. Haley and Sarah are continuing their journey through that entire game. You can tune in live on Twitch. Give us a follow there, or check out the YouTube archives. You want to see them go through that whole game, like the middle chunk of the game. I feel like that's where it's elevating. That's where it's like, okay, there's some very, very cool stuff happening. People are asking, Leo, if you're doing New Game Plus for Silent Hill F.
It sounds like that's where a lot of the meat is. I honestly am still an hour or two away from beating it. I really want to beat it before I get too far away from it, but yeah. I would be surprised.
Sure.
I would love to read what that is, but that's not the type of way I interact with the game typically, historically.
Yep. All right. We got Bonus Pod. If you're supported at the $5 tier, you get access to that weekly bonus show hosted by Haley, and this week's episode is quite good. Leo Vader and Charles Hart were on, talking more about Consume Me, but Charles Hart telling his engagement story. It is a really fun episode where it's kind of going more into spoilers with Consume Me, but the way you guys talk about it, it's like it's not fully ruining the game, just to have a more slightly spoilery conversation about the meat of what's going on in there. But
get into the themes where it gets to at the end, and it's a sign of how good that game is, how conversation just pours out of it. You just can't not talk about how you are responding to what that game's doing. Yeah.
And then this week for New Show Plus, it's a fun theme here where we had a Ben Reeves takeover, our old Game Informer co-worker, and he was a narrative designer at Firaxis, but recently was laid off and looking for work out there in the game industry. But we let him do a takeover for 6 options for New Show Plus, Leo?
Yep. And it was a really bad idea that we shouldn't have made.
And what's it called?
Drink Eat, a knife eat mystery, where we brought foods to the table and we blended them up, just like usually one or two foods, only one or two foods, to guess what had been blended. And it was not that hard to tell what it was, but it was way more disgusting than we possibly predicted.
Yeah, it turns out putting a chicken pot pie in a blender and then drinking it does not make your stomach rumble with pleasure. But hey, check it out on YouTube.
It was tough.
I like seeing all those comments that are like, I was trying to eat, and then I watched New Show Plus, and I'll never be able to eat again. So check it out.
Of sludge, definitely check that out.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Also, we do have streams happening with NVIDIA. So we're partnering with NVIDIA for GeForce Now streams. So on Thursdays, Jeff would normally stream. We're going to be rotating through actually the 4 of us, coincidentally, throughout the month of October. Every Thursday, we're going to be streaming some games through GeForce Now. And so it looks like I'm going to kick it off this Thursday at 3 p.m. Central. So if you tune in and catch this podcast really early, you can check it out. Otherwise, you can check out the archive on Twitch or on our MinnMax Stream Archives channel. But I'm going to be checking out Hell Is Us, which I know a lot of people love. And it's definitely one that we have not given enough time to this year. So I'll be diving in, playing the first 2 hours of Hell Is Us through GeForce Now. And then also this Friday, Leo and Haley are going to be playing Battlefield 6, and it'll be up on the main YouTube channel as well. But when's that happening on Twitch again, Leo?
3 p.m. Central Friday.
Sweet. All right. And then reminder.
What about your interview, bud?
Oh my gosh, thank you. Yeah, we have a MinnMax interview that went up on Monday. This is with developers from Raccoon Logic, Reed Schneider and Alex Hutchinson. Reed Schneider was the co-founder of Warner Brothers Montreal, the studio head for Batman Arkham Origins. Alex Hutchinson was a lead designer on Spore, lead designer for Herb Sims in the City, but also was a creative director for Assassin's Creed 3, Far Cry 4. So they have a ton of experience in the industry. And it's an odd interview, but hopefully people enjoy it, because I just wanted to check with them, see how they're doing, because they've had such a wild ride through the game industry. And then they released that game called Revenge of the Savage Planet back in like May. Doesn't seem like it's tearing up the charts in a huge way. So I just want to get a sense of like, what does the industry look like for this size of team, like a mid-size indie developer? They release a game, doesn't light the world on fire. Does this industry seem sustainable? And their conclusion was essentially no. And so it's kind of an overall state of the industry discussion there. And it's in the bonus
Which is
podcast
obviously something they've thought a lot about for their place in it. Like, they have tons to say on it. Really, really interesting interview. And fun to get, like, they're familiar with pretty modern Ubisoft and speak pretty candidly about the goings on, how it operated and operates, and are, harsher on it than some people have been and kinder on it than some people have been in different areas. It's like a very cool, accurate, seemingly accurate, behind the scenes look at such a big company.
Right on. Thanks for checking it out, Leo. And reminder, we have the Give to the Max charity stream happening October 18th. I think we're going to be starting at 2 p.m. Central, but we'll be streaming for a hell of a long time, raising money for charity and having amazing auction items and a ton of other fun. You can make a wish for only $50. Any wish you want. We'll see if it's possible. It probably will be possible in some capacity there. But Janet, thank you for joining us on the eve of your wonderful wedding break. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'll be back.
Hell yeah. Just something
After
else.
like 1 week.
Is there something else you want to plug other than your wedding?
Yeah. When I thumbs up to something to plug, I didn't have my wedding in mind, but funnily enough, you actually plugged it earlier, so appreciate that. But my Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/GameOnysus, that's Game ONYSUS, that has a bunch of the VODs that I did recently from my Persona 5 Royal marathon rush towards the end that still took many, many hours. So if you want to check that out, or just watch the last one for the clout of the credits roll just to see what the vibes were, I recommend going there and checking it out. Otherwise, it will be eventually on my YouTube, which is youtube.com/GameOnysus. It's just going to take me a long time to upload the VODs because I was already behind before I did this marathon sessions. So now I'm who knows how many videos behind, and they're all very long, but eventually that'll be up there. And there's full Let's Plays of me playing a lot of different games. I have almost everything from my Kingdom Hearts one. I have Yakuza Like a Dragon. I have Legend of Zelda Minish Cap. So, looking for a stream to put up, looking for just, a way to hang out or look at old games. It could be a good place for you to check out. So that's my plug.
Awesome. Backstage Pass Chat has a really good question, which is, are you still going to be Janet Garcia when you come back?
Yes.
Wow. Cool.
Nice.
Right on. Way to go. All right. That's it. Thanks so much, everybody. We'll see you next week for a new episode of the MinnMax Show. Be good, have fun, let's go.